Hey there.
What's going on?
No. What's going on with you?
Oh, I don't know. You know, feeling the doldrums of the rest of the world, I guess.
Oh, really?
Really that good, huh?
Well, I got an ear infection now of some sort, so
Wow. Well,
it's kind of keeping me up at night at times, and
jeez.
I got to get it drained and all that crap, but
Sounds like a good
Better
time.
than a fork in the eye.
Yeah, it is.
an infection in the ear is better than a fork in the
Yeah,
eye?
I think so.
I don't know.
Let's debate that.
An infection in the ear, they said if I let it go, it'd start affecting my balance
Oh, yeah,
and
your
stuff like that.
equilibrium.
Big
You'd be all messed up.
Yeah. I don't feel that yet, but he said if I don't
yeah.
take care of the fluid in my ear, that I'll start falling over.
Be dizzy nonstop.
Oh, jeez, nice at that. That's a
Oh,
lot.
jeez.
Can't walk to the bathroom. hitting both walls.
The blood is on the streets, and they just announced that 50,000 more jobs were lost this past week nationwide. It's so sad
Yeah,
out
it's sad.
there,
It
man.
really is.
And people are losing their homes, and it's pretty sick. But, you know, I feel bad for my fellow man and woman.
Oh, good.
Because you can't just say man these days.
No,
You got to be
you
politically
can't.
correct. Back in the day, you could have said man, and it meant everybody. Now people are like, what about women?
Yeah, what about us?
Now, back in
You
the
have a
day,
problem with
your
us?
fellow man used to slap the woman.
Oh,
And that was okay. Imagine those days.
Back in the day, the fellow woman went by the fellow man,
That's right.
and she was cool with it.
No doubt.
Was all under the same umbrella. My fellow man. Boom. Men and women. No, not anymore. Yes. So you'd like to bring back the day of being able to belt your wife, or what? Is that what you're saying?
I think there was a day where you could.
I know there was.
Oh, okay. That's all I was saying.
I mean, you watch, as I told you, reruns of I Love Lucy. Ricky made threats to her all the time of
Oh,
a
yeah.
violent nature.
Yeah.
And it was the #1 show on television.
Well, it's understandable. She's kind of a pain in the ass.
But I ask you, again, as you very craftily dodged the question.
How'd I do?
Would you like to bring back the day of if your wife gets out of line, belting her one to get her back in step?
Well, having a daughter these days, I don't think I would want to bring that back.
Oh, jeez.
I'd have trouble watching my wife's or my daughter's husband beat the crap out of her.
So only because
That's
of
the
the
only
fact
reason.
that your wife is having a daughter, has your wife been rescued from the big right cross
That's
that
right.
you wish in the 50s would be brought back to
I
the...
think in the 50s, the rule was you didn't punch him. It was always open hand. It was more
it
loving
was,
if it was open
it
hand.
was more loving. Great.
Yeah.
But it was
Well, if
always...
it was warranted, a fist was still very much justified back in the 50s.
But wasn't it behind closed doors? You really didn't go out, because the women stayed
No,
home
even
then.
if it happened in the grocery store, no one would
Really?
say. No one would look twice.
I wonder what she said. Piss him off.
I guess she ain't buying the generic brands.
People looked the other way back in the day.
Yep,
It's like beating your kids, man. People look the other way.
they used to.
Not anymore.
Now they're so quick to report you by the time you hit the parking lot.
Done.
CPS is waiting to take your kid away.
Yep.
And I guess it's better that way than the other way. However,
There's a however.
I don't ever want to get to the point where they get too, as we've heard from listeners, too aggressive with taking kids away. Like, take the kids away first, ask questions later.
Right.
That's a little silly. You had that guy who called us about 6 months ago saying his kid was taken away. They hadn't even asked him questions yet.
Yeah.
Right.
And not only did they take his one kid that had a mark on him, but they took the second kid. So I don't know how we got into this deep conversation right now, but we'll come back and get things started, believe it or
Open
not.
hand slap.
Come here,
Hot
come
Shot's
here,
got
come
one
here,
to
come here.
bring.
Thursday, right after these words.
T-Man-Show.com. Is Beyonce going to Barack Obama's inauguration? We're getting the answer from Gotham Magazine's patriotic new cover girl herself.
I know I definitely will be there. I'm not sure if I'll be performing, but I'd love to. Of course I would.
Meantime, we've uncovered this Obama family holiday wish.
I'm Barack Obama, and I approve this message.
Merry Christmas. Happy holidays.
Okay.
Now you're in the know. with
There you go.
extra
Beyonce is still making it clear she wants to perform at the Barack Obama inauguration, which can't come quick enough, by the way.
Right.
I mean, can we just speed up the date? I know we all have it scheduled for January 20th, but how does November 20th sound? Oh, let me check the calendar.
Oh,
That's today.
yay.
Get his hand on a Bible. Get him in there. All right? Because has anyone seen G-Dub lately or what?
Oh, no.
And I'm not talking about George Washington,
No,
but
I know.
last time I seen George W. Bush seems like around the same time that I remember hanging with George Washington, Terry. It seems like quite a while. I don't know.
If there's ever a guy you could picture with a bigger case of senioritis than that guy.
Okay.
I bet he is mailing it in.
Kicking his feet up on the desk.
Jeez.
He's already making the turn on the back nine, ready to go another 18 when he's done this morning, or what?
You can't find him. Pay people to find him these days.
Well, senioritis does rock, doesn't it?
Oh, it's the best.
Of course, I didn't know what college I was going to because they all turned me down through like halfway through my senior year, so I was less apt.
Couldn't enjoy it as much.
My mom wouldn't let me get senioritis. Yeah. She guilt-tripped me because when I started to like have a day that I would just feel like I wanted to just not go to school, she'd be like, "You're not in a college yet. You've been turned down. Here's all the letters."
Here's all the letters to prove it.
Yeah.
Beating you over the head with them.
And finally, the University of Hartford took me, and it was a little bit too late. But senioritis is a great thing.
Yep.
Man, that rules. So, it's still scheduled for January 20th, huh?
Sure is.
All right.
You know anyone that's going yet? At some point, we're going to know someone who's going, right?
Really?
I don't think you're going to know many people going from here because it's quite the trip. It's not like if we lived in Virginia or if we lived in Maryland or...
But people are loving him. I mean, they're going to pay it.
I mean, there are going to be some people from here going, but it's not going to be as in great numbers as it may be on an East Coast state. We'll all be glued to the TV to watch history, though.
Right.
You're not going to watch? You going to watch Young and the Restless?
What time does it start?
Usually happens around midday.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I usually remember presidential inaugurations happening sometime around West Coast time around 12:30.
Okay. Really? 12:30? Wow.
You can't be there? Can't be at a TV?
Maybe I'll TiVo.
You'll be watching it.
Maybe I'll TiVo.
You're not going to TiVo it. It's not something you watch a day later.
And if something crazy happens, I'll have it on. Have it on.
Either you watch it live. Didn't you have in the elementary school or like in 6th grade where they pulled you out of class, brought you in the big what do they call it, auditorium, and stick on the inauguration so you could watch it? Didn't they ever have that at any time during your early school years?
I don't remember that happening ever.
I remember that for like Reagan or something. Yeah.
Him again.
Right. It was like the second term. It's like he's already president. Why has he got to re-swear? You have to re-swear.
This time I'm really going to do it.
The re-swearing doesn't get a lot of coverage, but I guess you still technically got to re-swear for your second term.
Sure. Yeah.
This one will get a lot of coverage.
I would say yes.
This one is going to be viewed by more than a handful. Won't beat the season finale of MASH.
Oh, nothing ever will.
No, it won't. I mean, even the election coverage on the most, hyped up night of recent memory, it's still got like 70 million people, but not as many as the grand finale of MASH.
What's the number? What did MASH get, by the way?
MASH got like 90-something million. Or
can't be beat.
97 million. Obviously, it can't be beat.
Never.
If the election coverage, which was on like every channel, including BET, couldn't beat collectively the number of people that watched the ending show of MASH, then I don't know whatever is going to come along and beat it.
I don't either. I'd love to know.
Aliens would have to land on the planet, and they have live footage. And you
my God.
And you have a day's warning to watch it, and then maybe...
Nah.
No, it still comes up short.
Yeah, it's kind of boring.
More people like MASH.
Aliens kill anyone? Nah, I'm going to bed.
I don't know what could come along and beat it. If this couldn't beat it, this was on every channel that I was interested, I guess, that night.
Yeah, we broke it all down.
MASH finale, Pasty Dave just handed me 106 million people.
106 million.
And they came out with the number that collectively with CNN and NBC and CBS and Fox News, how many people watched the election coverage, and I think it was somewhere in the 70s.
That's what I'm thinking, too.
Yeah.
That sounds right.
And we talked
right?
about the big breakdown and everything.
So it didn't even really threaten.
No.
But...
MASH had sat there with its middle fingers up, laughing at everybody.
You ever heard of MASH there, in the Pooh?
I have, yes.
You ever watched an episode? Because I never have watched an episode.
Really? I used to watch it all the time.
My sister loved it, but I just was too young.
But I have a question, though.
Yeah.
Now, when MASH, there weren't as many channels. Does that make a big...
Oh, of course.
I mean, now if you, of course, combine...
Of course. That's one of the reasons that nothing could ever break it is because there's so many options now. Then there was really only 3 shows to watch at a time.
Right, and like 3 channels.
Right, you had 3 shows to watch at a time back then, so you had 3 options.
Right.
If you didn't want one, you had 2 others to choose from, or else you didn't watch TV.
Right.
So
absolutely.
that's a huge part of the reason. But you'd think on a night where this coverage, which affected the future of our country, was on so many channels, that this was one shot
where
the MASH record could be dethroned.
you would think.
71.5 million people collectively watched the election on election night on all the channels that covered it, including, I don't know, VH1.
Yeah, because I remember we had the breakdown.
CNBC.
Yeah.
It went as far wide as
BET, all that
BET
time.
and of course all the major networks. So every network had it, and CNN, and yet they couldn't get past 72 million. MASH, 106 million. This was the only shot, because even the Super Bowl is only on one channel. And the
Right.
Super Bowl usually comes within a stone's throw of breaking the MASH record. Seinfeld season finale, they said was going to break the MASH record. It didn't.
Yeah.
Didn't even really come close.
Right.
Something about that one night. Back in whatever it was, 1980 or something like that. Everyone just gathered around the campfire.
Yes, they did.
Stuck on the television.
And said, wow.
Made s'mores. And watched together as a country.
Right. And watched Hot Lips say goodbye.
So your point is a good one. However, there's more people in the world today, in the country today, than there was back then. So that doesn't really even
I
it
know.
out.
You're right.
This was the one shot.
Yeah,
I
it
thought
was.
this one had a chance with all that was at stake. The future of our lives,
Right.
and all the channels that had it covered. I thought collectively we'd get to 100 million,
Yeah, easily.
or
yeah.
maybe even break the record. But we didn't even come close.
Couldn't get it done.
Some people were like, "Nah, I'm watching a Surreal Life rerun." Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe it was the theme song that did it, because
Love the
good
theme
one.
song.
It's a good one.
Seriously.
I love the lyrics.
There are lyrics, yeah. No, there really are, yeah.
No, there's not.
there are.
Really?
I never played them.
No, but it's a real song. This part you hear right now, that's the person
I
singing.
don't know. This sounds so depressing to me.
Oh, it is really depressing.
How could you? The whole show was depressing, though, wasn't it?
It's
No.
a comedy, though.
I know
It's
it's
a
a comedy,
comedy.
but it was based on a
Yeah.
theme that was
Overall.
about people getting wounded in a war, right?
Right, correct. It's like an army hospital.
Howdy.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, the day of the television theme is also gone,
Yes, it is.
That is true.
because people don't have the patience to sit around and watch a TV theme song anymore before the show starts. It's like, get to the show.
Right.
We are the ADD society. We don't have time to watch. Like just the other day on YouTube, and this is really gay, but I'll tell you anyway.
No, right. At least you.
When I was like 7 years old,
Yes.
and this show I think was only on TV for like, oh geez, here's another. This one never makes the CDs of the 70s and 80s theme songs. But when I was like 7 years old, me and my sister used to watch this show, and it wasn't a successful show, called Angie. All right?
I remember.
And for some reason, I was sitting listening to, I don't know what reminded me of that show, but I went to YouTube to see if they had the theme of that show that I remember me and my sister watching, where,
Don't you love when that idea pops in your head? You're like, oh, I go to YouTube. It's definitely there. It's definitely. Please be there. Please be there. Please be there. Please be there.
and it's always there.
Always there.
So I had that memory of, bonding with my sister. It's the first time I realized I was a little bit attracted to her. And so I put it on YouTube to see if
Abby, I
it
don't
was
like you
there,
like
and
that.
it was there. And I watched what I hadn't seen since I was like 7 years old. But then I realized this was a 2-minute introduction to a TV show.
Really?
Yeah, it was a 2-minute theme song. They used to have that was
Jeez.
like a lot of the interest of the show was watching it was so corny too.
Was it the same every time, or was it different
Yeah.
every time?
Donna
well-
Pescow was the Angie.
Yes, the
right?
one who was in-
Right, and she the
Son of Pesca.
I don't know
her and
what
John
she was in,
Travolta.
but-
Who puts
yeah,
these things
Saturday Night
on
Live.
Yeah, Saturday Night Live. She was the
Who
her
puts these
partner.
things on YouTube is a great question. Maybe my sister. I don't know. But
She doesn't have good memories of that show.
probably not. Being groped and
Right.
Yeah.
This show looks amazing, though, by the way.
molested.
He's looking at.
watching it right
No,
now?
but you're right. I vaguely remember that show, and it wasn't on for very long.
And they show wacky clips of
Right.
Angie and the guy from Airplane. I don't know, the old movie Airplane. That
Yes,
was pretty funny.
yes.
Robert Hayes.
Oh, yeah.
It's a funny
I've seen it,
movie.
yeah.
Even watch it now. He was the male star in Angie, and the whole 2-minute opening theme is like just wacky little lovey-dovey moments between him and Angie.
right.
But they don't even have
They didn't
a
have
10.
it?
They don't even have. No, they had it on YouTube. They don't even have like a 10 to 20-second theme song for TV shows these days because no one has the patience to sit around and watch it and wait around for their show to begin.
I told you. I remember the open. Remember the turkey falling off, the whipped cream, the whole routine. I remember the stupid shit.
Oh, slapstick comedy ruled back then.
Oh, yeah.
But the day of the TV theme song is dead.
It is.
Well, Family Guy's trying to bring it back.
Yeah, actually, that is a good point.
They're the only ones, but he did it on purpose because he loves these old themes.
Yeah, you get that message when you watch the show a little bit, don't you?
Yeah, right.
Mm-hmm.
He actually hires like a 100-piece orchestra for every the whole music for every show. He's the only one that does this. So.
And you know what? I enjoy that theme song every time I watch
Yeah,
it.
I
Every
love it.
time, maybe
It's great.
because I remember, sitting around with my sister at 7 and 10 years old. She was 3 years older than me, Terry. She still is, pretty much. Although I'm closing in on her.
Yeah.
Yes.
Catching her.
So I invite you, Terry,
Yes.
in honor of me and my sis,
Yes.
to go to YouTube and watch the theme song to Angie at some time.
Oh.
Oh, you don't have to do it right now.
Oh, okay.
At some time in your life, all right? That's all
Oh,
I ask.
absolutely.
I'm going.
That's crazy that you even brought that show.
You remember that show?
I do.
I remember the open.
I
remember
swear
the
to you, I
wackiness.
bet it wasn't on more than 2 seasons.
Yeah,
I know
you're
it was
probably
it
right.
was a ratings disaster.
We can find out.
I think me and my sister were the only ones watching the actual show. But
Hey, are those Tepper kids watching? Nah, they're not into it anymore. All right, it's canceled.
but I sat back and watched it in my little chair in my office.
Little chair.
Put red porn and Max porn and boys' food aside for
Yeah.
just a moment in my life and relive the day. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Of Angie.
What was her deal?
I don't know what the show was about. They were just in love and, And the mom from Everyone Loves Raymond was on
Is
that
that?
show.
I wondered if that was her.
And she was young.
Yes.
She's still like a mom, isn't she?
Yeah,
Yes.
she still played a mom, but a much
Jeez.
younger mom, not an old, crusty mom.
I thought that was her.
Mm-hmm. Pulp Fiction, John, yes.
Hey, T, I mean, I know it's not any cheesy jingle or anything like that, but one of the best shows on TV has not a lengthy, but a decent intro. It's The Deadliest Catch. It has one of the best intros on TV.
So here I'm saying the day of the TV theme song is dead, and you just gave me 2 good examples of why it's not.
Uh-oh.
No, the
He's
Deadliest
about to
Catch
get
is
buzzed.
it's the Bon Jovi, Wanted Dead or Alive. It's a good song, but it's not a theme song.
Right.
But
Not
they
what
use
we're
it.
talking
It's not
about.
an original theme song,
Right.
but is it a song that introduces the show that
Yes.
makes you wait a
Yes.
minute for the show to
Yes,
start?
it is.
Then that qualifies as a theme song.
I
Well,
guess.
then you could also say that any of this.
The Deadliest Catch open is awesome.
Because even like Moonlighting back in the day
Yes.
had like a
Right,
theme
some Fly By
song
Night.
that didn't really
Yeah.
wasn't really an original theme song, but it became related to the show.
Right.
So
Same with the
Three's
CSIs.
Company. Three's Company had a great intro.
come and knock on my door, baby.
Yeah.
Oh, he will.
Take a step at his nude. I never still to this day know
Wait,
what that
take
meant.
a what?
Take a step at his nude.
I thought it was a take a step that is new.
Oh, maybe you're right.
I don't know.
Maybe I've been singing it wrong all my life. Take a step that is new?
Yeah,
I'm wondering, but I
think
don't know.
so.
I never knew what it was either.
Yours makes a hell of a lot more sense than what I thought.
I'm bad at lyrics. I'm always
I was like,
having
what
wrong.
the hell does take a step at his nude mean? Take a step that is new. Why was I...
But why does that make so much sense?
Take a step that is new.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of works.
It makes sense, even though it's not very deep.
Yeah, it's not.
It just makes more sense to take a step at his nude,
Yeah,
which is
well.
the way I've been singing it my whole life.
I'll be. I like your way better, actually. I like to take a nude step. Here I go, coming at you.
I'm going to have to punch that up a little later today. Thank you, Pulp Fiction, John. Take
You
care.
got it.
Deadliest Catch.
Great theme. Great open.
Really?
It's moving. Yes.
What channel is this on?
Discovery.
You can't be
Oh,
here.
jeez.
Oh, gee,
Great show.
it is.
TManShow.com.
Yes, Schwager.
I just found out that my building's been sold.
See, the one thing I like about Schwager,
Yes.
he doesn't waste time. He doesn't give you a fancy little TV theme song before he gets rolling with the point of his call.
He just doesn't even say hi.
I mean, it's never really that interesting.
No.
But he always gets right to the meaning of what his call is about that particular day.
Sure.
My
Like,
father
I think it
came
was
out of
the
the closet.
like the other day. Well, I expect that to be within 6 to 12 months.
Okay, good.
But the other day he called about how he hates the Star Trek trailer and he's feeling like he's kind of moved on from the Star Trek thing because of that. This was the final nail in the coffin. But he gets right to the point. Now today he's hitting us with what?
My building's been sold, and I could be out of an apartment in about a month.
Well, that's a shame. There's no room in any of my 16 guest rooms. So,
Fresh out, huh?
yeah, fresh out of room.
of
So this
chairs.
means you're like being evicted, basically.
I could be evicted.
Your building was sold. Who's buying a building these days? I thought everything is pretty much on sale, but no one's buying. So somebody bought your building
For $1 million.
for $1 million. A building that probably 3 years ago was worth about 7 or 8 million.
2, actually.
2?
Yeah, I went.
How do you know? You've been
I
pricing
know.
it?
How do you
I know.
You in commercial real
the
estate now?
landlord, my previous landlord now, told me that he was hoping to sell it for about $2 million.
Okay, hoping to sell it for $2 million doesn't mean it wasn't worth more in its heyday. Anyway, he probably needs some fast cash, like who doesn't? And he had to sell it for whatever he could get, and he's basically telling you, start packing your things.
I found this out from the mayor of the city, not
The
from
mayor.
It's very tight with the mayor. You know, as a dog shampooer, he's not only a commercial real estate guru, but he's also very in tight with the mayor. That's what we have to now understand about Matthew W. Schwager.
If he's so tight with the mayor, then have the mayor hook you up with a place to live.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, he can help you
I
out.
found this out from the dog groomer I help who talked to the mayor.
No power. Mayor's fresh out of power. So you got hit with this news when?
About a day and a half ago.
And how do you know for sure that the new owners are going to evict all the tenants?
They want to do a full remodel of the entire building.
So that may mean you get, like, are they going to turn it into condos or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, that happened to me when I was living in downtown Seattle, the old Belltown Court.
I do
right in
remember.
the heart of Belltown. I had it all set up perfectly, like go to Belltown Billiards, pull out a little hooch, take her to the spot, show her the Space Needle from my window, and
show her another needle in your pants.
She started taking off her clothes right there. You know, I didn't even have to say a word, really. It was a perfect setup. And then all of a sudden I get this little notice under my door, as if... It's so impersonal, as if I'm nothing to them after living there for like a year and a half. We're turning the place into condos. You got 3 months or 2 months to get ass out. And I moved to the east side, and the rest is history. But, yeah, I remember that can happen. That seems wrong, that they can just say, yeah, we're turning it into condos, get out. You've paid your rent.
Well, you could
You're
either
scratched and clawed.
Didn't they give you the option of, if you want to stay here, you can buy this condo?
Buy that crap.
Yeah. You know what I've done to this place, knowing it's not mine?
Mm-hmm.
I spit on the floor
How many
whenever I want.
walls I've soiled?
You're soiling walls.
Yes, not soiling with skid marks or anything.
Oh, jeez.
Come on now.
Okay, just want to make sure you knew.
Wow.
I thought you might have been a little confused.
That was the kitchen.
Sometimes I hit the ceiling, sometimes it just makes the wall. It depends on how backlogged I am. Anyway.
They did that to a lot of apartments in Seattle. They turned into condos. My old ones, too. It's weird.
They did, and that's part of the reason everyone was going for the fast buck over the past 5 to 10 years, and now everything is caving in on us economically. Everyone got greedy. Even the banks, even the biggest of the banks. Schwager.
Yes.
So what do you need from us? You want someone to be sent over to help pack your things, or, I mean, what are you looking for here?
Well,
have they told you
the word out that I need an apartment set?
What's all that noise in the background? Who's that?
I'm back in the ferry boat over to
You organizing a rally?
We want our apartment building back.
So you have been told officially that you have a timeline, you have a deadline at which time you have to get out.
I do not have a timeline yet.
So what have they told you officially?
That the building's been sold, and they want to do a full remodel.
Building's been sold, they're going to do a full remodel, which means that you have to get out. They just haven't given you a hard date yet.
Yes.
Well, I mean, does that really necessarily, mean that you have to get out? They're just informing you that they're going to do a remodel, but
They're not going to do construction around his lazy ass, Terry.
They've done that before, though.
Swagger's sitting there eating cheese puffs, and they're going to be doing construction?
I can't afford cheese puffs.
Well, I know for a fact.
Where'd all this noise come from? What happened? The movie let out? What's going on here?
I love
I'm
the
on
4
the
o'clock
ferry
movie.
boat.
It's on the ferry.
Oh, you're the ferry.
Remember?
He calls it the ferry boat, in case you weren't clear what kind of ferry he's
The
on.
ferry on the ferry.
That's
Is it the
right.
same lady sitting next to you?
Tell
the
that
one-
yacht at the mouth lady to shut her ass up. I thought we'd been through this before. You sit next to the same big mouth lady?
Okay, first off, they're not big mouths.
Oh.
Very defending of his fellow commuters.
You're talking about
Defend the honor of my lady.
He has really grown to become quite fond of these ladies that pay no attention to him. So he will certainly come to their aid when they are put down like I just did.
First of all, T-Man.
First of all, if you say first of all, that means there's a second of all. So what's a second of all?
They're very nice people.
He rides with them all the time, so he's gotten to know the ladies.
They're not big mouth ladies, first of all.
Right.
Second of all, they're very nice ladies.
They are.
And what have they done that makes you come to the determination that they're very nice ladies? What have they done to you, for you, with you?
Well, they gave me food.
They feed you.
Wow.
Got half a Milky Way here. You want it, son? You look pretty famished. I mean, what are they offering you? What kind of food?
Energy bars.
Energy bars.
Wow.
He's got an answer for everything.
You look pretty sluggish there, kid.
Sluggish.
So that's all it takes. Someone to give you an energy bar and you'll defend them for life.
Not friends for life, but a nice associate.
Would you go somewhere else now? Because I don't even hear the ladies anymore.
I went on top of the boat.
You're on top of the boat now.
He's on top of the ferry. About time.
A hotshot saying, it's about time you came to the self-discovery little moment here. Finally, on top of the ferry. And that's an AI. Anyway, Schwager.
Is he done with school? Like, when are we graduating and
No.
moving on with our lives?
No, not yet.
I just found out a few days ago that I could have been out of OC by the end of this year.
Could have?
Yeah, you should have been out in 04. But anyway,
no kidding, man.
And now you're being basically evicted.
I was in high school in 04.
Now you're basically being thrown out on the street, and maybe, just possibly maybe, you can move in with this guy.
Oh, jeez. I'm not fucking making it.
See how you build up to the lead?
I do. And you do a great job. You're natural.
And every city in between.
Little hint of suspense.
Workers.
Oh, I was suspended.
Hit him hard when the theme starts. Well, I'm just recognizing that you obviously have some newly available space in your home, unless you bought 6 more tanning beds to take over the space that your family used to occupy. So, I mean, Schwager's, he's down, he's out, he's having a tough little moment. A lot of us are out there, and you got to feel for your fellow man, and you're supposed to be supportive during these times, so I felt maybe you would, I didn't say definitively, I said maybe you would offer an extension of love and a roof over the head of a fellow dysfunctional family member, Matthew W. Schwager. You're saying out of the question, dump truck guy?
Totally out of the question. Ain't happening. Sorry, Swagger. I'll buy you a tent or something.
A tent. He'll buy him a tent. That's as much love as he can show. Yes, Terry, you have your hand raised. Yes.
Did you get a ton of emails there, Dumpy?
Oh, indeed I did.
Did you? Any that interested you?
Every one of them, even the one hate mail I got.
You got one hate mail?
Only one.
Hey, that's a good ratio.
Yeah,
If you only got one, I'm impressed. All right? I only got 1 million.
I'm sure there's more to come, and you know what? Freaking bring it on.
Here's an interesting text message this morning. I'll get back to you guys in a second. 6:47 to 50 seconds. You know, we take text messages all morning. And
I love that number.
Somebody writes,
It's my lucky number.
T-Man, I finally went to Max Porn yesterday, and wow, I'm a chick. And I've lately been getting interested in this a little too much. Kind of like that aspect.
Do you?
Because when I first started reading the text message, I'm like, oh, big whoop. Another guy got interested in a porn site. But then she kind of flipped the script midway through the text, informs me she's a woman, which makes this a very unique and fascinating and highly interesting a message.
2 to 1.
He's back.
Oh, man.
You went back and joined you joined your bridge playing ladies there again, Schwager, or what?
He got hungry.
Yeah, I went back down.
You got lonely? Dumpy.
Who needs to hear that kind of stuff at 7 a.m.?
Dumpy, maybe you need to, take some time and think about the possibility that Schwager could add some positives to your life. You're a single guy, you kind of not only live with him, but you hang around town with him, introduce him as your younger brother, the cute little bowl cut down and out younger brother that gets girls kind of thinking you're a sensitive guy who, I don't know, there's something to that, right, Terry, or no?
Sure.
No.
Maybe Schwager will help out with the rent or the mortgage or whatever. And
Schwager, let me ask you this. If Dump Truck Guy, for some reason decided, yes, he has a lot of room in his house. You're still living in your house, right, Dumpy?
What's that?
Are you still living in the same house you've always lived in?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
3-bedroom.
If Schwager...
See, bedroom for Schwager.
If Schwager... Or, Schwager, if Dumpy said, yeah, it's not a bad idea, my first instinct was the wrong one, I'm going to open my door to you. Would you accept the invitation to live there temporarily at least?
Yes.
Without hesitation.
Really?
Swagger, you know how long it would take you to ride your bike to the ferry? Like 3 days, dude.
Say what?
He's saying...
It'd take you like 3 days to get to the ferry.
He's saying you wouldn't want to live at his place, Swagger. He's taking the pressure off himself.
Yeah, he
You
is.
wouldn't want to live there because it would shake up your life too much. It would be too much of an inconvenience for you to get to where you need to go every day. Would that be something that makes you reconsider living at Dumpy's place? He says you wouldn't be able to ride your bike to the ferry anymore. You'd have a difficult time doing your daily routine.
Well, it all depends on how far he lives from a ferry boat.
Well,
He just said.
He's saying too far to even consider biking it.
Off our ferry boat.
Well, I biked 20 miles before, so I don't think that'd be much of a problem.
Yeah, but do you do it every day, back and forth?
He'd be.
It's like 40 miles.
In that case, no.
You live 40 miles from the ferry dock, Dumpy? That's
Yeah,
fine.
Tacoma to the downtown Seattle ferry dock, yeah, it's about 38 miles.
Well, you could do Bremerton,
Well, no.
right?
That might be just as far.
Tacoma to Bremerton.
Tacoma to Bremerton is.
Tacoma to Bremerton about 30 miles or what?
No, it's way farther than that, dude.
Oh, it
No,
is?
it's about 26 miles.
About.
He's talking you into it, Dumpy.
It's
Very doable.
26 miles from freaking Port Orchard, Swagger.
So if Dumpy gave
From
you...
there, I can take a ferry.
If Dumpy
Over to
gave you an
Bremerton.
invitation to live in one of his bedrooms...
Swagger's dying to do this.
Swagger, if Dumpy...
He is.
Oh, we'd have to cover this. If Dumpy gave you an invitation to live in one of his bedrooms, you would bike 26-plus miles back and forth to the ferry every day?
Yes.
Even if he made you pay some rent?
Yes.
Wow.
Wow.
But Dumpy's not on the top of my list.
Oh.
Oh, he's got a list.
Swagger, you're not even on my list. So
Tell me about this list, Swagger.
Yeah,
What
no
kind of,
kidding.
What kind of list have you put together?
Pretty prestigious.
Well, place number 1 is with the old lady I help from time to time, who's 6 miles out of the city.
You're hoping the old lady that you help out is going to let you move in with her.
Yes.
Well, think about all the action to begin with.
Oh, she walks out, drops her towel. Whoops, what did I do? Did you see anything, you
Well, let me bend over and get it. Oh, my hip!
I'm knocking the cobwebs.
Do you want to scrub my dog? Shampoo that fur, big boy.
Swagger, the possibilities are endless there. No wonder she's top of your list.
Yeah.
Now she's top of my list,
Makes
too.
sense, really.
I
Okay,
have
so...
another friend who lives about 10 miles out of the city in Olala.
And
And where?
I think you said a
It's
lala.
middle of nowhere. Middle of nowhere.
It's called a lala?
Olala.
Olala.
Uh-huh. All
I've heard of
right.
it.
I just thought you were pronouncing something
No.
funny, but maybe you're right.
There is a place.
All right, so that's second on your list. Is Dumpy third on your list?
He's like 5th.
He's like fifth.
Wow.
All right, who's 3 and 4?
3 is a friend of mine on Bainbridge Island.
All right, you're going to be hitting up him for a possible temporary residence.
Yeah.
And then number 4?
4 is a friend I just had moved down to Tacoma.
But they told you you're being evicted, basically, but they haven't given you a timeline.
Yes.
So it could be like by the end of this month, which only has like 10 days left.
I have a signed agreement that I have to have at least 30 days notice.
30 days. That's not a lot of time, though.
It goes fast.
Mm-hmm.
Time flies when you're living on the concrete.
Well,
I would take cheapest.
How old is the old lady on the top of your list?
Near 70.
Near 70.
Has she offered? Can you?
Crap.
Listen to Dumpy.
And she lives alone, and you plan on, like, giving her the information, but not necessarily asking her if you can live with her. You're going to hit her with the sorrow-filled sob story of how I'm being kicked out of my apartment, and you're hoping then she's going to respond by saying, move in with me, young stud?
Young stud.
Well, first off, she's married.
Mm-hmm. But her husband lives there or doesn't?
Liz.
Oh, he does. That's pretty kinky.
Hey.
Mm-hmm.
He's near 70.
He's near 72. Well, I didn't think he was like 23. Yeah, okay.
Okay, makes sense. Next.
Swagger's me tapping in on the Viagra. Tearing it up.
Oh, jeez.
Also, the couple has already said before that if it came down to it, I can move in with them.
All right, well, then there you go. Sounds like you got a place.
Yeah, you should go there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Live there like a houseboy.
Sounds like you'd get a nice hot meal every night and
Maybe you work your way.
well fed.
Maybe you work your way into the wheel. Who knows?
Whoa, there you go.
It's Cato Schwager. Mm-hmm. All right, sounds like you got a fallback plan
There
there.
you go.
All right.
And several others. Yeah.
Oh,
All right, take it
several
easy.
others.
Jeez.
Fine. You don't need dump truck guy. That's wonderful.
Yes, it is.
Although I think Dumpy would have come around to making you an offer, extending you an invitation. I really do believe that.
Then you're wrong.
I
don't know if I am.
Why do you think you would have?
I just think Dumpy and I don't know.
There you go.
There is no
You
good
don't even
reason,
have
which
a
is
car, man.
reason
I don't
enough
need
right
that
there.
If Schwager had a car, maybe.
The fact that there's no good reason is reason enough for me.
I wouldn't bike around W's neighborhood if you paid me. You're not going to come home without your bike.
What's the worst that can happen?
If you're lucky, you come home with just without your bike.
Yeah, no kidding.
He said, "What's the worst that could happen?"
Come home without a shank in your neck.
Yeah.
You're ahead of the game. What did he say?
He said, "What's the worst that could happen?"
The worst that could happen if they live together?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Worst that could happen? I don't know. What would be the worst that could happen if they lived together?
I mean, Schwager, he smokes in the house. You're okay with that?
And he
I've lived with
drinks and
smokers before.
oh, that's right. His family's a bunch of.
He drinks about 20 beers a night. Can you handle someone like that? And then he likes to batter who's ever in the house.
But again, Swagger's used to that. Remember his.
Still can't outdrink my family.
That's right up
Yeah.
your alley?
Yeah.
He can't outdrink your family?
That's correct.
Well, maybe collectively, but individually. Can he outdrink your family or what?
Individually, no.
No. He's
I'm
pale.
up for the challenge.
He's up for the challenge.
He pales in comparison to what his family
Right,
consumed individually
right.
on a daily basis.
I forgot what
Remember?
Schwager used to live in.
Right.
It was like a war zone
The
in his
little
old
trailer
place.
and
Yeah.
the.
I mean, do you hear from your mom anymore, Schwager? Is she amongst the living or what?
I saw my mom yesterday and my sister, who is now about 5 months pregnant.
God, good luck, kid.
Yeah. With the is she still with the boyfriend who used to beat her up?
Yeah, there's a lucky unborn.
Jeez.
Is she still taking that guy back time and time again? They used to, give her the right cross to the temple every once in a while. I'm not talking about the Mormon church there.
That boyfriend's no longer around for my sister.
But he's the guy who knocked her up. So
Oh, the guy
that's
that
what it
knocked her
took
up.
to get rid of him. That's what it takes to get rid of the battering boyfriend.
Hey guys, I
Get
gotta
yourself
I-
pregnant and a run for the hills.
My cell phone's about to die.
Oh, he's got to go.
All right, well,
Bye.
it's just a microcosm of pretty much everything else in the world. Anyway, thank you, Schwager. That's pretty sad news, actually.
It is.
He'll make it. He'll work
He'll be
it
fine.
out.
Everyone's had trouble finding places to live when they're 20.
But during times like this, not the easiest time to be out on the street.
Yeah, but the apartments might be cheaper now because
That's true. Rentals-
everything's going down.
Rentals are very popular, though, right now. So maybe that's like the only thing not going down. Because everyone wants to rent now and no one wants to buy. Dumpy, an update from yesterday, today, in 30 seconds or less.
I was a very busy man last night. I got like 158 emails.
Mm-hmm.
And I responded to every single one of them, like I said. So
Oh, wow.
If you've seen how he types, it must have taken him all night.
He said he was.
it only took me like freaking 2 hours.
Me like you.
Just sat there, ate some pizza, drank some Bud Light, and typed away.
And this is the new world of Dump Truck Guy at hotmail.com.
Yes.
I'm sorry,
There
Dump
you
Truck
go.
Guy. What is it? Dump Truck Guy 69.
There you go. That has some dude email me. His email is dumptruckguy68.
Well, he probably got it
What the hell,
after he heard you got Dump Truck Guy 69, or else that's a little too coincidental. All right, so dumptruckguy69.com.
Is it the dump truck guy or just dump truck guy?
No.
Is it the Dump Truck Guy or Dump Truck Guy? It's just Dump Truck Guy.
No, the.
Oh.
It's the Dump
No,
Truck
the.
Guy?
No, the.
Oh, no, the. So, Dump Truck Guy
There you go.
69 at hotmail.com.
Tear it up.
Tear it up.
He's got a lot of time during the night.
Absolutely. Pizza and brew.
Every email you send can be one more hand to the keyboard as opposed to an extra beer, so you might be doing him a service.
That's it. There's a lot of interesting people out there. I think it's pretty cool. So.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
It sounds like in some pseudo way you're thanking them for emailing you.
Yeah, indeed.
Okay.
Thank you, everybody.
Well, there it is.
All right.
Have a great dump truck guy a day.
Oh, I already have. There he goes, Terry.
That's
Sounds
pretty
like
cool, though.
he appreciates the company
Yeah,
right
it does.
now. Mm-hmm.
Sounds like he's,
Well, pick me up.
Yeah. Socializing a little bit.
Now wait till the lady starts sending pictures, Terry. Oh, he's going to realize why Joanne Millionaire's moved out after all.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
TheCubeShow.com.
Final days, Terry.
Yes, I know.
Still time, but final days of T-Man Pays Your Bills. Let's see if we can get a good one this morning. I already have one in my right hand. Let me see how much it's for. Yeah, this is doable. I won't throw this one back.
Good deal.
I told you there'd be a minimum of $400 on every bill that we pay this week. This one makes the cut. This one is a Visa bill. Sounds pretty mainstream, all-American need right now, right? Paying off your Visa bill?
Absolutely.
Okay. Well, Tiffany Alexander.
Tiffany.
Your Visa bill has been plucked from the hopper. Today is your time. Perhaps all along through the course of T-Man Pays Your Bills, Tiffany, you've been sitting back watching everyone else get their bills pulled from the hopper. Wondering, hoping, against hope, that your day would come. Well, it has, Tiffany Alexander. Your transactions pretty much have ceased on your Visa account. And your account balance is over your credit limit of $500. But whose isn't, Terry? We have a account balance of $530 here, Terry.
Okay.
So not terribly overdone.
No, but
I mean, if you have a credit line of $500, you can't really help but go over it a little bit, right, Terry?
Sure.
I mean, what doesn't, when you buy a little bit here, a little bit there, doesn't add up to over $500 these days?
Right.
All right. So let's
gotcha.
not get on Tiffany for going over the limit.
If she's hot, I want to get on her.
How do you stay under the limit when your limit is $500 and they're not giving out many lofty limits these days?
Right.
All right. The days of getting 16 different credit card offerings in your mailbox have come to an end. Now it's just that one company with the Vikings that came running in the commercial.
Yeah.
They're still sending me stuff. But other than that,
Capital One?
Yeah, Capital One.
Yeah,
Capital One still finds a way to send you
Capital One's got to be loaded.
credit card offerings.
They have to be doing well.
Yes. So Tiffany, what did I say her last name was? Alexander.
There you go.
Tiffany Alexander. You have
4 A's.
That's right. You have until 8:15. Give her a little 15 or so bonus minutes to call
Nice.
1-866-663-T-Man. We will pay off this Visa bill of yours in full. $530 in the name of Tiffany Alexander, which was due when? Let me see when this was due. This has been in the hopper a while. This one was due in early October, Terry.
Ooh.
Last I checked, it's mid to late November, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they've been looking for that money for some time. Unless, of course, you sent it in already, in which case we're just going to give you the $530.
There you go.
Which, when people hear that, they're like, screw Visa. Yeah, T-Man, I already paid it.
Right.
Can you make that check out to me? And the reality is we can. I guess.
Sure.
At least that's my rules.
Okay.
I don't know what they do the rest of the day, Terry.
Well.
But I just went on record as saying if Tiffany doesn't want to pay off this Visa bill, we'll write the check to her. And then it's party time!
Drinks on me tonight, girls.
Come on over to the Alexander house.
Let's go.
But, of course, in order to make this happen, Tiffany, you have to give us a call at 1-866-663-T-Man to make it official. This is your time, as I said, Tiffany, and T-Man pays your bills. Terry, what else is going on in this world of ours?
Well, People magazine came out with their Sexiest Man Alive edition, and it is Hugh Jackman.
Huge jagoff? I thought he's kind of been like on the D.
I haven't seen much of him lately, unless he's been on Broadway.
But hasn't been an X-Men installment in a couple of years or so.
Right.
And I haven't seen him in really anything else. Why this year are they going with Huge Jagoff, Terry?
Well,
because that's all we can afford.
Topless pic just came out a couple days of him, and that pretty much sealed the deal.
So yeah, sealed the deal. Mm-hmm.
Oh, I've been requesting topless pictures of Hugh Jackman for some time. It's about time they came around to that. Mm-hmm.
A new one just came out like this week. And
Of Hugh?
He looks ridiculous.
Does he?
What do you mean?
He's
Like,
totally cut, and he just has muscle.
He's 40 years old.
Yeah.
he's the total package.
He is.
Well, they didn't show us that low, but I bet he is.
He's been married for 12 years to
See,
an
when I-
Australian actress.
When I was working out, that was the phrase, Terry. When I was working out in college, I mean, with my college friends, we would just look at each other in the gym, spending hours in the gym at a time, like idiots, and just all we had to say to each other as we walked by, with our energy drinks and, thinking that carbs were the way to get big, and
Sure.
amino acids at the time were really huge, and you got to take as many amino acids in your drinks as possible. We just glanced at each other, and all we'd have to say is total package. That was our goal.
It? That was your...
We were all looking for the goal of being the total package as far as our bodies were concerned.
And did you ever reach it?
I never really came close.
Okay, just
Total
checking.
package is tough. That's every muscle has to be perfect.
Right on.
And when we'd have the pose downs after our 2-hour workout,
Oh, you have to have those, yes.
we had the Jack LaLanne full-length mirror pose downs.
Late.
And that's what we would always keep saying over and over again. We were shooting for the goal of being the total package.
Wasn't there a wrestler called the Total Package?
Yeah, Kurt Hennig.
It was like,
oh, no, he was
Mr. Perfect. Who was the Total Package?
Lex Luger? Lex Luger?
Maybe.
I think it was Lex.
Lex Luger?
Might have been.
Wow.
The Total Package was some wrestler in the 80s.
Yeah, isn't it ironic that the total package was Lex Luger, Terry?
Wow. All right. That was your goal.
Named after something you hock up. Lex Luger. Or Luger, whichever you prefer. Anyway.
Yes.
Yeah, it was Lex Luger.
So he's the man. He is People Magazine's sexiest man.
Don't quiz me.
You didn't even watch NWA. How'd you know that?
Because I just know things.
Okay.
Just know things.
I
you
just
know
know
things.
things. I don't have to be into things to know things. Don't ever doubt me again. Too well into your next
We've
life.
already gone over this.
He was the total package. If you've seen pictures of Lex Luger in the 80s.
Yeah, he had all 6 to 8 abs.
Oh, yeah. 8 to
He
10.
had perfect pecs with appropriate sized nipples, Terry.
Perfect pecs.
See, even if I get perfect pecs,
Yeah.
I still kind of trend towards having bigger nipples than a guy should have, and I get that
boy.
from my sister and my grandmothers because they had really big boobies. And my nipples are a little bit larger than a man should be. Not not ridiculously
So,
large, but they
like
sometimes look
quarters?
like 2 eyes staring. Nah, quarters, yeah.
Oh,
Wow.
And I really kind of am a little self-conscious about it, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Not if you had perfect pecs.
They should be dimes
Sure.
or at
Makes
worst
sense.
nickels, and not at the
Right.
quarters is maybe. It might even be a $50. No, not a $50. No way.
$50
No way.
are
Yeah, that's
big.
big. No, it's
That's ladies.
It's quarters or
Right.
or smaller. But they now that I'm 180 again,
So now they really stand out because
not really, but it bugs me a little bit.
bugs you a little bit more because you notice them a little
I
bit
may have to
more.
get a lift.
Okay.
Nipple lift?
By the way,
Yeah. So Lex Luger had the biceps, tries, lats.
he was the
delts.
total package.
No, he had it all.
He had perfect abs. He had the appropriate size nipples, Terry. He was, in fact, the total package.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
All
And so
right.
was Ravishing Rick Rude, by the way.
Rest in peace.
I always really wished I had like that look of a body.
See, I didn't like it. I didn't want to be him.
You thought he was too lean?
Too lean.
Yeah.
He's too thin.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to be Hercules Hernandez. Do you remember him? Big
All these
Reuter.
people.
All dead, by the way.
Hercules Hernandez is dead
Oh,
too?
yeah.
No way.
Oh, yeah.
I don't remember that
Luger
peasant.
is dead
He
too?
S the bed.
Lex Luger dead?
Luger's alive, but he's had his issues with meth and trouble.
What about Mr. Wonderful in his heyday? That body
Orndorff?
also is one that I liked, yeah.
Oh, yeah. He's
That was
alive.
a body that I was shooting for. But he had a stroke because he was taking so many steroids, I heard.
He looks
And now he
old.
runs a bowling alley.
He looks
He
old.
runs a bowling
That's
alley?
right. At least he runs it.
Wow, he's the manager.
That's true.
He's the man at that bowling alley.
He just cooked the hot dogs. It'd be a little embarrassing.
But no,
he had
I
a
am
great
the
body.
manager.
But back when Roddy Piper was his manager, and I don't know if you remember when Roddy Piper was people's
manager?
managers. Yes, that's how he started in the WWF. He was manager before he was people's manager
on.
before he was a wrestler. Yes.
Really?
And then they realized he had such a mouthpiece on him that they
Right.
just made him an out-and-out wrestler. I mean, he wrestled before WWF, but he was
Right.
Mr. Wonderful. When he first came into the WWF, he was Mr. Wonderful's manager.
Wow.
YouTube it. All right?
And Vinny's getting ready to.
And he stands next to Mr. Wonderful when Mr. Wonderful was about to fight Hulk Hogan, and he talks about how Hulk doesn't have a chance, blah, blah, blah.
right.
And it was just so cool to listen to him when he came onto the scene in the WWF because he had such this nonstop rambling, really big mouthpiece. And he became the star. Mr. Wonderful kept doing the steroids and had a stroke. and like part of his body's paralyzed.
Oh.
I saw Orndorff on a Hogan Knows Best episode. I didn't recognize him at all.
Really?
Little crew cut, had a suit on, looked kind of fat, didn't even look like him.
Whether he got some of the feeling back in his body that was paralyzed or not, I don't know. But I heard that part of his body was... Did he look like on Surreal Life or whatever you saw him on Hogan Knows Best? Did he look like he couldn't move certain parts of his body?
He
or
was
what?
just standing talking to Hogan, so I didn't... Yeah, I couldn't really tell.
Huh.
All right, how we get on this conversation?
The total package.
Total package. You and your body.
How do we get on the conversation of the total package?
Edition, Hugh Jackman and Hotshot saying
Hotshot has verified in a very heterosexual way that after looking head to toe at Hugh Jackman in his latest topless picture, he is in fact the total package.
Absolutely.
I don't think he's a total package.
I thought that's what you just
said.
said.
That's how we started this whole conversation.
I think most people would think that. But, I mean, I think he's pretty lean.
Are you speaking for most people, or are you speaking from your point of view?
Not from my point of view, but I'm speaking for most people. I'm speaking from the gay man perspective. Now, if you're a gay man, you love him.
So, again, are you speaking from your own opinion?
Yes.
Or are you speaking from other people's point of view?
Yes, from my own gay opinion.
From the gay person's opinion, and you speak for all gay people.
I do.
He is the total package.
He's the total package, yes.
All right, then from your point of view, who's the total package?
Hercules Hernandez, man. I told you.
But he's dead!
Okay, well.
He's food for words!
Yeah, he is. Yeah, that's true.
Hercules Hernandez. Who the hell remembers him besides me?
I want to be Bob Sapp, but not 6'9".
No, Bob Sapp doesn't want to be Bob Sapp at this point.
Yeah, probably not.
He can
isn't
barely
he just
move.
like,
He got his ass freaking kicked in the Tacoma Dome by some unknown.
Did he?
He's old, man.
Yeah,
he's done.
He had his run.
Yeah.
And Tyson was challenging him. You finding anything?
Oh, yeah. He's got Hercules Hernandez.
I was like, who the hell is Hercules Hernandez? Look at this guy.
You got Roddy Piper as Orndorff's manager yet or no?
I YouTubed it, and it was Bobby Heenan with the clip I just seen.
Okay, well, that's who his manager became. I'm talking... It wasn't
probably before that, right?
It wasn't a very long period.
Yeah, somebody in Terry Cam said that agreed with you.
It wasn't a very long period that it was like just for a few months.
Right.
That Roddy Piper was Orndorff's manager, but it was when he first came into the WWF.
Let me try to Wikipedia this dude.
And somebody also said in Terry Cam that they saw Piper on TV with his daughter, and his daughter is really hot.
Mm-hmm.
So
well, we had Piper in the studio, Terry.
Yeah, he was great.
The only time in the past 10 years I've lifted my no guest policy was for Roddy Piper. Jessica Simpson wanted to come on the show 2 weeks ago when she did her little dilly at the joint.
Right.
And I said no.
Right.
She wanted to come in the studio. And I said no.
No, but who do we have in here?
I might have been able to talk her into something for all I know. And I said no.
Yeah,
probably not, but maybe. And I said no, Terry. Because the no guest policy stands for everyone except Roddy a Piper.
I found it, by the way.
I know that for sure, by the way, because when I was like 12, my dad took me to Madison Square Garden when Hulk Hogan fought Mr. Wonderful for the title. And Roddy Piper was banished from ringside.
Uh-oh.
By the referee.
Really?
And he was, in fact, his manager at the time, yes. Mm-hmm. My dad took me by the hand. Bought me a little pennant, Terry.
Yeah.
Because I was a real American.
Were you?
And we watched Hulk Hogan and Mr. Wonderful battle it out. Hogan being the victor, of course. And reminding me to say my prayers and take my vitamins.
All right. Really?
So you saw him during Hulkamania?
Oh, yeah. A couple times.
Yeah, same here.
My dad was into it. My dad was into taking me to the once-a-month thing at Madison Square Garden. Not every month.
Just to get out of the house, probably.
Yeah, like once a year, we would go to Madison Square Garden to watch one of the 12 cards they would have, like, all the time.
I went to Tacoma Dome with Pops.
Hulkamania. Now, as far as you being the real authority for speaking for all gay people, you're going to have to take a back seat, of course.
Uh-oh.
To this turd burglar!
He's a gay phone operator. He's so gay, he's so phone operator. And now, here's Gay. A good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, Gay. What do you think about the assessment of Huge Jackoff being all gay people's number one?
No, that would not be it. No.
Mm-hmm.
You want to know what the total package is?
Yes.
It would either be old school ravishing Rick Rude.
He knows them all.
Oh, my God.
Or Goldberg.
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 Isn't he doing something with UFC?
I think he is, yeah.
Goldberg's involved in MMA in some way.
Really?
As like an announcer or something.
Oh.
He would have kicked ass in his day.
I love Goldberg.
If MMA became big like in the early 90s, Goldberg would have been a force, kind of like Brock Lesnar is now.
Yeah, maybe.
How could he not be?
Yeah. He like ripped his hip muscle or something really brutal, and when he's playing for the Falcons. And
so you always had a fondness for Goldberg, huh?
Oh. He likes the big hairy bears. I don't think gay speaks for all gay people, by the way.
You like yourself a big hairy Jew, do you?
Yeah. And he's got some muscle on him.
Mm-hmm.
Some? Yeah, he's got a little bit.
Yeah, just a little.
Just a hint.
Just enough.
Kind of like you.
No.
The total package, a gay phone operator with all 8 abs ready to be viewed at your discretion.
Yeah, if you dig down deep enough, I guess.
No one could dig that deep.
They're in there.
Jeez. All right. Deep water drillers don't dig that deep. They don't dig that deep.
Thank you so much.
Oh, jeez.
I appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
How's your day going?
Fine, I guess.
Yeah, mine's going better now.
I have an ear infection of some sort, but I'm muddling through. Oh, it sounds like you really feel the sympathy for me. I appreciate that.
Really, it hurts. Ow.
Mm-hmm.
Ow.
Well, I'm not complaining, but the doctor told me yesterday I'd have to get my ear drained, and that's not something I'm really into. I'm not really looking forward. I told him that I'd rather not, and he told me that it may affect my balance at some point. So I said, all right, sign me up.
So you're gonna get drilled?
Jeez.
That's the way to drain it.
Yes. He, of course, gave me some Valium to deal with the pain. So now in my medicine chest, there's a nice... If I'm ever going to go on a drug run, this is the time. Well, I got quite the arsenal now from having meningitis in the summer.
Awesome.
And
if I get it again.
Mm-hmm.
Get some cool drugs out of it.
Well, they only gave me 14 and no refills. Is that normal?
Yes.
Yeah,
they don't give anybody refills on anything ever.
Could you give me a refill?
No,
one refill?
Hell no. They don't do it
You
ever.
would have to go back in to see him for him to justify
Because I figure if I'm going to start taking Valium,
yeah,
I'm going to need to do more than 14.
No refill.
No refill.
No refill for you.
He's going to let you test out the waters, see how quickly you go through it. Then, if you need to go back in, then he's going to.
Thanks for the scoop. He's the one who diagnoses me with a serious ear fluid infection.
Yeah.
And then he only gives me 14 Valium like I'm some junkie or something.
Right, as soon as your air fluid is fixed, you won't need the Valium anymore.
Says who?
There you go. I know how they think. You have to have chronic pain for like a long time to get a refill. No one gets refills, man.
What about the mental pain and anguish of not being able to see Goldberg wrestle on a daily basis anymore?
Well,
how am I going to get through that?
Go in and see him for that.
I wish I could get some Valium for that.
You ever take Valium?
I never have.
Neither have I.
Gay doesn't do drugs.
I looked at it last night for about 10 minutes. Stared at the bottle.
Stared at it.
That's right. And I didn't take one.
Well, you're building it up a little bit. It's not going to really hit you that hard.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Because I was building up Vicodin for a while and was afraid to take it. And then one day on a plane, I just said, oh, this will knock my ass out on this 4-hour plane ride. Did nothing. I told you that story.
Yeah, you took one.
I took one, but it was a big one.
Right.
It was the one that was supposed to be the size that was supposed to knock you out. It had no effect on me whatsoever. So if that is the case, does it not bode well for me taking Valium or what?
I'd just take a couple.
Is it in the same neighborhood? Are they the same, related?
Totally different.
All right, so the fact that Valium didn't do anything for me doesn't mean the Valium won't.
No, not necessarily.
All right.
But I'd go 2 the first time out of the box.
So you don't do anything as far as recreational, which we don't condone, by the way, and it's better that you don't, Gabe, because you have enough problems in your life. You don't do anything like that, or what?
Never. No, alcohol is the only thing, and I hardly drink at all anymore.
Why? Because you're sick of hearing about how the night before you had your shirt off, you were making a fool of yourself, you were sweaty and clammy, and you don't remember a thing about it?
No, I was drinking at home for a little bit because it was fun, but it got old. It wasn't,
You were doing a little much, though. At
No, I
home
wasn't
by
doing
yourself.
much.
Remember?
You were drinking alone.
Right.
I mean, yeah,
I
you were.
wasn't drinking alone. I was drinking with my chat people.
That's drinking alone.
Oh,
I'm
my
sorry.
God.
Wait. Let's talk about this for a second. Does that not qualify as drinking alone? If you're alone in your house, but you're constantly having this stream of conversation with people in your chat room or on the internet of any sort, on any site, does that qualify as not drinking alone? If you're communicating...
In his mind, he's with people.
See, he sees it as that. He sees it as, I wasn't alone.
Right.
I was with all my little...
No, we're talking, we're laughing, we're enjoying the conversation.
Well, yeah, but you're still alone in your house. There is nobody.
Well, that's what we're discussing, Terry. I'm not so sure that he's wrong. I want to debate this before we tell him out and out that he was a bad drinker for a second there, even though he says he's kind of done with that now.
Right.
But when he was drinking, technically by himself in his house, but had all his friends lined up in his gay little chat room, and they had this endless stream of, the Yuck Fest that they think is all wonderful. Is that qualify as drinking alone, or are you drinking socially because you're having that little run with your buddies, your little feathered friends in your chat room there?
Well, my vote is you're still drinking alone.
That's drinking alone.
I'm going alone.
Yep.
I'm voting alone as well.
Wow, it seems to be a unanimous vote here, Gay.
I don't agree.
No matter how you want to really size this up. Oh, geez.
If I'm sitting down on my couch watching TV, drinking by myself, having no communication with anybody else, then yes, that's definitely alone. And not...
No, you're with your friend, Charlie Sheen, and all his buddies on 2.5 Men.
No, I'm not that crazy yet. They're not talking back
It's
to me.
kind of the same concept. If you could justify just like the same way you are, that if you're watching TV, you're with your television buddies. You were alone in your place.
Right.
Consuming alcohol. There was no one there to really take your pulse or...
Right. If something happened to you, nobody could, carry you to your bed to put you...
For a lot of reasons. Mostly because he's too
I had somebody come over one night and make sure that I was okay because I had drank way too much.
Jeez.
But they have to actually leave their home.
You couldn't get Charlie Sheen to do that. So he's saying he could get one of his chat buddies if he really feels woozy to come over and take his pulse to make sure he's okay.
He said it did happen. He said it did happen.
Yeah, I'm saying you can't get Charlie Sheen to do that, but he could get one of his buddies to do that. So therefore, he's separating the differences between drinking in front of the TV with your TV friends and drinking in your chat room with real tangible friends.
But again, those people are in their own homes, and they have to leave their own homes. So he's still alone in his house.
How about him having people come over to check on him? Is that just crying out for attention?
It happened one time, and I didn't ask them to come over. Shut the hell up.
I'm feeling a slight...
I didn't want them to come over. I was fine.
You big liar.
Now I'm feeling a slight ache in my anus.
Wow.
Gay, we listened to your argument.
Come check on me.
We gave it some reasonable thought.
No, you did not.
And we still determined that you were a man who was drinking alone, which obviously has always been and always will be the worst kind of drinking anyone could do.
And I don't do it anymore.
I have another question.
But you say you never did it because you weren't drinking alone. You gonna stick with that?
Oh, no, if going by your little definition, I don't do that anymore.
You don't drink in your house during chat times.
I don't drink in my house at all, usually.
You don't have time to drink with so many sub sandwiches to the face.
You're the one that makes me want to drink sometimes.
It's always me.
Always.
That causes all his problems.
Not all of them, but a lot.
Here I am trying to solve
you're
whatever I
trying to help
can
me
for you, but I'm
figure out
still
the meaning
accused
of
of being the source of all your problems.
Oh, my God.
Well, cry me a freaking river. I don't agree.
If you get him a flat screen, life will be all better.
Oh, it would be.
Oh, the day I denied him his flat screen.
Oh.
He sunk into his deepest abyss that he's ever been in, and it's all my fault.
It is.
That's when somebody promises something and it doesn't happen.
Oh.
Oh, my God.
I don't remember ever guaranteeing you a
you?
flat screen.
You never do.
I remember contemplating it at one
And
point.
every time I called in, if I wouldn't answer the phone, you're like, if you don't answer the phone, you're not going to get it.
And that was true. If you didn't answer your phone, you weren't going to get it. Doesn't mean you were going to get it. If you did answer your phone, you saw it one way.
And you saw it the T-Man way.
Oh, geez.
Whoa.
Well, what's wrong with the T-Man way? You said that in a very disparaging fashion. Terry, you had your hand up. What were you going to ask?
I did.
What's your question?
Back to the drinking alone.
Right. Terry wants to make sure she drives home the point that you are a man who drinks.
Well, because he's trying to justify being on Terry Cam. So when you have a conversation on the phone and you're drinking a beer, does that constitute you drinking socially as well?
That's a weird... I don't know.
That's weird?
No, it's weird because... In the chat room, I'm actually seeing people on camera interacting. They can see my face.
So if he had a video phone, then yes.
Jeez.
That's different.
But just audio?
I mean, I understand what you're saying. I really do.
Me and a Baden having drinks tonight.
I consider that I was drinking alone.
Hey, what's the latest with the Baden?
I don't want to talk about it.
Oh, okay.
Sounds like it's going well.
Another T-Man prediction? Dead on?
God, Fearless, you're going to have to take his job pretty
no
soon.
fault of my own.
It never is, Gay.
It wasn't on this situation.
You're a man who's not accountable for anything that really happens to you.
No,
You like to blame the others.
No, I'm very accountable and accept responsibility for
Oh, yeah? What have you taken
everything.
responsibility for lately? Usually you either blame me or the breakup now with Abaddon that I predicted long ago. You're blaming on Abaddon.
Sickest name ever.
So what did Abaddon do to screw things up with you? Why, he's going to make you cry?
No, I don't want to talk about it.
What, if you didn't do anything, why don't you want to talk about it?
Because it's just a bad subject, you asshole.
Oh, jeez. Well, maybe you need to vent the bad subject.
No, I don't
and
need
please.
to vent the subject. I'm tired of talking about it and thinking about it.
Who have you talked about it with?
Yeah. Who do you talk to?
Oh, I know, because I have no other friends other than you.
Oh, jeez. No one said that. I don't know what. We just asked a question.
Oh, who do you talk to? Yeah, what was that? That insinuated that I had no one to talk to.
All right, listen. You go back to your old visions of Goldberg, and we'll leave it right here. You had another question,
I
Terry?
did have another, because
Is this
we
back to the drinking
alone?
No,
We've moved on,
Terry
Terry.
wants to be the resident expert on drinking alone.
No, this is him going out the other weekend.
Right.
He said he was dancing privately with somebody, and who is that? Your new love interest, or
No,
who is it?
You guys asked me if I danced with someone individually or with a group. I said I danced with someone individually. Doesn't mean privately.
Well, the electric slide doesn't really count.
And, you know, it wasn't that.
Okay. Gay, I'm sorry. Even though I predicted it a mile away, I'm sorry that it ended with abandon the way that I told you it would.
Or are you?
When you were...
Believe me.
I'm really not. When you were sticking up for him over your long-term friend, the T-Man.
You did stick up for him.
When you threw me under the bus for a guy you knew all of a month.
I didn't throw you under the bus.
You did throw me under the bus,
No,
but that's okay.
we're never going to agree to that.
I'm a man who doesn't hold grudges, and I'm not going to hold it against you. You're not getting
okay.
flash screen, but I'm not going to hold it against you.
Exactly.
But I told you then, when you threw me under the bus, what would happen between you and him.
Didn't throw you under the bus, and you're never going to get me to agree to that.
I agree with that. I'll never get you.
No, you
I'll
won't.
never get you to agree to that because you're a man who's unaccountable for anything that you do.
That's bull.
We got to find out what happened, though. I'm dying to know now.
Yeah, bye-bye.
I'm up
Have
against
a great gay day.
Oh. We already had a great dump truck guy day, and now we're having a great gay day. It's all over the map here.
TMNShow.com.
DJ AM and Travis Barker were the only survivors of this devastating plane crash 2 months ago after a performance in South Carolina. Now the FAA has released the air traffic control tapes recorded right before the accident.
Oh, geez, that should be fun to listen to. That should be real fun to listen to, don't you think, Terry?
Oh, absolutely.
I forgot that everyone on that plane died except for those two.
Yep.
I mean, all you really think about is DJ AM and Travis Barker, if you think about that at all at this point. But you forget, or at least I do, that they were the only survivors, that people died in that plane crash. It's pretty sad.
4 other people, right?
Mm-hmm, because they're out and about again, and they're doing their thing again, and there were 4 people that died, and they were the only 2 survivors.
First, you can hear Travis and AM's private plane gearing up for takeoff.
Got any clearance for us to Van Nuys yet? Yes, sir. You ready, copy? I believe so. Go ahead.
All seems well until the controller suddenly diverts another plane.
Rambler 36, we've had an emergency, sir. You're not going to be able to land runway 11. We've had a emergency. Fly straight ahead.
Shortly after that, the controller tells emergency crews,
You need to get out there. The aircraft is, there is a flames of fire out on 302.
4 people died in that.
You know, there seems to be a little urgency in his voice, granted, but I don't know. If I'm in that plane, I want this guy to sound a little bit more frantic.
Yeah, but is
it every day that a plane crashes?
No, it's their job to stay cool. They're not supposed to show any emotion at all.
Really?
Yeah, it's their job.
I don't know. If a plane crashes...
Holy crap!
And he's trying to get the emergency...
Department.
Get out there! Plane crashed!
No.
Oh, my gosh!
No, they're not supposed to do that at all. Right.
I think they should.
But they're in a room with everybody else. So you have to remain calm.
If every day or even every week a plane crashed, then I would say, yeah, it's important that they stay professional. They got to realize this is part of the trade, blah, blah, blah. But planes really don't crash that much.
Fine.
That when this one crashed, he sounds just a little too casual for me.
It is annoying, but they have to keep their ass together.
Right, they do.
You have to.
Because you don't want everybody in the tower freaking out.
We have other planes coming in, and they can probably hear it. And it's like,
well, you can keep your ass together, but still have a sense of more urgency than this guy has. But I get your point.
Fire! He's on fire. I see his leg burning.
Holy
You want to really say that loud.
It's burning!
I haven't done it in a while, so you know.
I edited myself. But for those who are streaming this right now, we're in delay, right?
Oh, yeah. Let's do it.
Are.
Holy fuck!
Oh, not delay.
Did I get it?
No, overtime.
I hope I got it.
No, you got it.
Okay. I hope the delay's working. If not, it's not our fault. Anyway.
They love it. They do.
Hope people in Tari-Cam love it.
They do.
Well, that's the best we can do as far as being as close to satellite radio as possible right there.
Right.
But satellite radio is going out of business, Terry.
I would assume it would be.
A huge pay cut, go over to there.
Right.
Somebody that I know recently was like, hey, have you seen that Sirius satellite radio stock is down to 85 cents? It's an absolute must-buy right here. You got to buy it. It's so cheap. Now it's down to 14 cents.
Wow. Everybody dive in now.
I'm glad I didn't listen to that. Oh, I'm not in delay anymore?
No.
Okay. Yeah, he's probably broke anyway, so I feel sorry for him.
Okay.
If you look at the stock price of the satellite radio companies that try to get us to do a show there way back a few years ago, man, looks like they're going out of business.
People
at least from the share price.
People didn't pay hundreds of bucks to hear shows they could hear for free?
Man.
Unbelievable.
Well, yeah. Now you have them all streaming online. And
Howard Stern, you're really burning it up there with a share price at 16 cents a share.
Way to save the company, savior. I hope he cashes check.
And then Oprah has her own, too. And
but Oprah's really not a regular show on satellite radio. She's just a little feature that they give you once in a while as a bonus. And
to have her name out there, that's what they expected.
Honestly, even though in some pseudo way we're the competition of satellite radio, I don't want them to necessarily go away. I like there being, that offering out there. But they say they're about to go bankrupt. Or at least that's what some people are saying now. Who knows? I don't know. The whole world could be going bankrupt before you know it. Or we could be just fine. Who knows?
I never understood why you listen to a station that's 80s hits. You like 80s music. When you can just put your iPod in your car and hear songs that you pick.
Right.
Why would you wait to hear a song you might like?
Yeah, but I'm always afraid to put my iPod in my car because I'll always leave it there, and I need to get I got a couple. I don't know. It's just.
I think you're the minority. I think most people just bring their iPod if they can, or burn a CD at least.
I have an iPod adapter in my car that came with the car.
Right.
All right. I actually paid the extra to get it put in by the factory.
Right. A little hole you just plug in.
And I've had the car for a year now. Right. I've yet to plug it in.
Really?
And I very much want it. I'm like, I have to have that.
Why wouldn't you? I don't understand.
Because I'm afraid if I put it in my car that it's always going to be there, or I'm going to lose it, or something. I don't know why. I just haven't put it in there.
You can't take it back.
It's a one-time deal. I got my iPod perfect right now.
Okay.
Every song that I want. I'm afraid if I lose it, I got to start from scratch. I'm rebuilding an iPod, and I'm afraid
you're not going to lose it.
I just like to keep it in my house. I got these Bose players in my house now that are awesome. That's, have you seen those things?
Yeah.
Those, you put them anywhere in your house, and they just blast, top quality and stuff. So that's fine. So I keep it on that. I don't know. I just don't plug it in my car.
Okay, but most people would bring their iPod or a CD that they burned themselves.
Sure.
And choose the songs they get to hear, not hope they hear something on a station.
I love the 80s, but I hope for this song soon.
But I don't need someone to pick my songs for me.
Exactly.
If I don't have to.
Exactly. I got it. Okay, I'm capable. So it's shocking that it's not really working out.
I mean, not to say we don't all put our trust in Eric Flowers to pick our songs, Terry. We're not saying that.
Well, right.
We do, but we understand that some people like to take their iPod with them. Right. There's only so many people we can compete with, Terry. But you can't get this entertainment on a daily basis on your iPod.
Oh, good luck trying to find it under 70s hits. Not there.
Terry, you can't get Terry stories.
Oh, no, you can't.
On your iPod.
No, you can't.
Heaven forbid. What's going on in the world, Terrence?
Did you know that 41% of people
Let me read some text here after a couple of stories. Yeah, go ahead, Terry. I'm sorry.
All right, 41% of people have bought holiday gifts to make subtle suggestions about how someone looks or dresses.
So really, if you were to take a moment to read into the gift that was purchased for you,
yes,
what they're trying to send you is a message on how to better your
overall
existence.
Self. Right.
Like, what's an example?
For example, let's say you give somebody
a girdle.
Or a
you
gym
need to
membership.
suck in your fat gut. Here's a Christmas present for you.
Right, or a gym membership. Oh, let's say a husband buys one for his wife, or vice versa.
Oh, and look at this, honey. It starts today. So get your ass out there.
Also,
oh, wow, just what I needed. Penile enlargement pills. Thank you, dear.
That's a good stocking stuffer every year.
Just what I always wanted.
right,
That's why.
cosmetic makeovers.
That's why she bought it for you, because she wants it to be a situation where you're stuffing her stuff.
Sounds good. Do those work? Let's try.
Penis enlargement pills?
I get lots of emails about it.
About penis? Not from listeners. You just mean like...
Yeah, spam.
Spam. Mm-hmm. But targeted to the demographic they're seeking.
They caught me on the video camera at my gym, and perfect clientele.
So when you get a gift this Christmas, take a moment to look in.
Read between the lines.
To the gift. Read between the lines. And if you determine the person that is buying you the gift is really trying to send you a message, make sure to tell them to go themselves.
Wow. You're okay.
Are you in the mood again?
Yeah, you in the mood again?
To let it all rip?
Yeah. Well, okay, now we did it.
Apparently I had no choice. Anyway.
So anyway, they suggest, like, they say 5% of people have given lingerie or something sexy. So
well,
obviously they want somebody to spice it up.
That's been done for... That's not necessarily a message. Like when I've already wrapped it, Terry. I don't want to have to take it back. I already have the plans to give my wife the blonde wig, Terry. Because there's nothing like a blonde Filipino woman. And
right.
I don't think...
Hot.
I don't think that's sending any kind of message that there's anything wrong or there's
just
anything
need somebody
missing.
new in my life.
You know, I was just about to say that if I determine anyone's sending me a gift that they're thinking that they could take it upon themselves to try to better me, I would definitely resent that. And I would be angry. And if I read between the lines, and now you're going to have me do it that much more, Terry, not that I wouldn't have... Anyway, I would let them know it. That, you know what? Don't be trying to make inroads on my very cushy, comfortable world here. I'm doing just fine. Right. I don't need you to tell me of how I need to make improvements. But things like lingerie,
well, what about
that's
this?
bought for me. I like to feel slinky at times, Terry. I don't mind that, but a blonde wig or these are gifts that fall under that category.
I would say and things like I said earlier, a cosmetic makeover. Let's see, you got a gift certificate for.
I mean, you have the same appreciation for blonde Asian women like I do, Terry. Right, Terry? Come on.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's got stripper written all over it, right?
Yeah.
Blonde Asian. Come on. I don't mean highlights. I mean blonde. I mean Ric Flair color.
Right.
Wow.
And it's
White.
nice and straw. Straw feeling.
That's pretty blonde.
Love it.
No softness.
So when you're buying a gift for someone you love, you should make sure that you yourself are not committing the sin of trying to send them a message that they don't necessarily need to hear. You know, everyone's trying to do the best they can out there.
Well, but that's what I'm saying is that those people who consciously go out and do that is what they're trying to do, is consciously send a little message to that person that they're giving the gift to. That
you ever worn a girdle, Terry?
No, I don't think
Vinnie?
I have.
Of course you have. Come on, every woman does at some point. Like in a dress or something you haven't?
No, I don't think
Maybe it was
I have.
built in the dress you bought.
Could have been.
And you just loved it. Oh,
not what I'm talking. Right.
No, but a girdle, where it's a separate thing.
I was a woman, I'd wear one all the time. It's a great deal, man.
You wear a girdle?
Yeah, smooth them out.
If I was a woman, I would every day. Flattens you out. One. Smooths out your
out your lumps and bumps.
Mm-hmm.
Terry, you've never suited one?
No.
Wow.
Whatever. Yeah. Maybe indirectly she has.
I didn't mean to. It was built into the dress.
It wasn't by choice. I just love the dress so much.
Right.
I couldn't figure out why it made me look so good.
I don't usually wear tight-fitting dresses to wear, you know. I wear dresses that still compliment me but hide those lumps and bumps.
I see. So the point of the story is try to be as sensitive as possible with your gifts. And are they saying it's a bad thing to be sending those kind of messages subtly with your gifts? Or they're saying just be aware of it? Or
just
or
was
it's
an
a good
interesting
thing?
little stat that those people...
40%.
41%, yes.
Of people who will be giving gifts this holiday season, whether they realize it or not, maybe they do, you're sending a message to the person you're giving the gift to on what they need to do with their life. Mm-hmm. Oh, a luxurious getaway to Smithers. Wonderful. Know what Smithers is?
No, I do not.
That's a drug addiction.
Oh, really?
It's East Coaster, yeah.
That's a guy on The Simpsons, too.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yes, it is.
Smithers.
It's drug rehab for the East Coasters, yes.
Oh, really?
I couldn't think of the West Coast joint in Utah, so
Shadle.
I had to go.
Shadle.
Oh.
Shady?
Yeah, the local one is Chick Shadle.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Why are you laughing? It's a real place.
It is.
I'm out all day.
I'm aware.
Oh, God. Definitely heard that before.
Oh my God.
Why did you get the guy's sounds? No, never mind. I'm not going to say it.
Well, let me ask you this, Terry. Would you
God.
resent if you got a gift
So
that
funny.
you realized someone was sending a message to you, like, I don't know, maybe makeup remover or something like that you would feel like, what are they trying to tell me? Do I wear too much makeup?
I probably would take it as that. I mean, out of nowhere, right?
Like, if someone gave you nail polish, maybe they're saying to you, you know what? Do it yourself and stop going every other day to the joint and criticizing their work after they're done.
Yeah, stop with the little sparkles on your nails. It's so lame.
Because if there's one thing Terry loves, it's going to the nail spot.
I do.
Loves, well, second to that is not tipping. That's her second favorite thing ever.
You don't tip, Terry?
Terry's been accused of missing a tip here or there, yes.
Actually, I can
All
give
right,
you the
maybe
number
you
of my.
Oh,
I tip very
geez.
well.
Don't get sensitive.
Weren't you guys in a cab when you didn't tip in Vegas like less than a year ago?
Maybe you straighten. That was Pasty. Maybe you straighten that out. But there was a day that I heard from someone through email or whatever it was that you went without tipping, and I brought it to your attention, and you corrected that situation.
I usually tip.
Gotta tip your fellow man, Terry.
Usually you do.
Like, I used to be bugged by all the latte stands and the just regular kind of registers that had the
Right.
tip jar.
Right.
And now I'm totally down, and with their trying to get whatever they can and stuff the jar
Sure.
with whatever.
I'm the complete opposite now.
Really,
I've done a 180.
It's bugging you more and more.
Yes, I use my debit
And you
card
guys are
every
over
time
here-
on purpose. So I'm tired of giving 80 cents for
So
my...
why am I going in one direction and you're
I
going
don't
the
know,
other?
well,
It used to
Why are
bug
you
me.
killing me on tipping and stuff when
10
you're the one who doesn't even do it?
10, 15 years
I
ago,
don't
it
tip.
used to bug me when I first started seeing them pop up. I mean, the register people really aren't providing such an extra service that
Right.
they deserve a tip from whatever wage they were making. That was my feeling.
All right, Terry, don't try to equate a $3 drink with a $100 haircut. All
So
right?
now-
It's a different tip, by the way.
So now I'm kind of moving away from that, and not only am I understanding, and I would be doing the same thing if I was in their shoes, but I'm stuffing their jar. You're going in the other
Yes,
direction.
I'm tired of it. I'm tired of my drink being $4.13 and then giving them the 87 cents. $5 for a drink. What do you want here?
A tip is a tip, though.
I'm getting older and a little more frugal.
See, I go to Quiznos, and I'm almost at the point where not only am I giving whatever change is left, but I'm sticking an extra dollar in there. And I don't know.
That used to be me. I used to always
Yeah, I
do that.
did,
Now
I did.
I'm out. I'm the opposite. I'm tired of it. Enough already. I can't take it.
But you gotta understand that everyone needs help out there. You
I
know.
understand. I give money to the homeless guy who said he needs money for beer, standing by the freeway. I give money to him.
So it depends where he's at for me.
Really?
Yeah. If I feel like he's working in a network with the people like on the other side of the off ramp,
Right? They're pulling their money.
that I feel it's a racket.
You think they're pulling their money?
If
No
it's
way.
really a guy that I think is in need, that went out on his own, that is
Right.
trying to take it home to his family and not pooling it with the rest of his peers
Right.
on the other side of the street.
You make that decision by looking at him?
That's right!
You take one look
Oh,
at
I look around!
You look like you earned this dollar.
If I feel he's in some kind of mob racket
Jesus.
there,
Right, he's got the union coat on.
Homeless union.
if I feel that, I won't give him anything. But if I get a sense that it's really a guy who just is looking to get a cheeseburger by himself, then yeah.
Right. If you really want to sucker me, just be holding a dog. Oh, jeez. All right, here's $5. Jesus.
So a guy on the side of the street with a sign in one hand and a dog in the other
Oh,
is
every
getting
time.
your last buck?
Every time.
Wow.
The dog looks so sad and cold and hungry. Oh,
Oh,
geez.
believe me, he picks the perfect dog.
Oh.
He's not going to pick the jolly fat dog.
Nah, couldn't look any sadder, this dog.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. Here's $100.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I'm going to need change.
Text
Right.
messages.
Can you break
I'm going
100?
to need 97 back if you can.
Yeah, whatever. You're taking 99. Text messages rolling at 97373. Don't you know, Terry? And I think you do. That's 97373. Don't you know? At 8:02 and 6 seconds, which is the latest printout we have in front of me. Somebody writes, I was listening to Tiny yesterday on the air, and I was wondering if Terry's toes are really that sexy. For listening during the 7 years that I've been following your show, I never visualized her like this, but now I'm very turned on.
So another person out there with a toe fetish, foot fetish thing.
Perhaps, maybe not as strong as Tiny has. I would hope that no one is with a fetish that strong, but just the conversation got him a little going, and he was wondering if you really deserved all those compliments and comments by Tiny yesterday at the end of the show.
Okay.
Do you really have that nice of a toe situation, a nice toe setting?
I guess. I do get them done, so I take care of them.
Mm-hmm. So you don't get them to stop just at your hands there.
Well, I'd get a pedicure. Sure. Love pedicure.
What a swanky little lifestyle we have.
Good to be Terry.
It's like a recession out there and you're getting pedicures.
You don't feel at all a little bit like
I'm trying to help out the people who are working.
He's okay.
Jeez, Terry, you are swanky. Good to be you, man. Great life.
Terry, really giving back to the economy. What a service she's providing. I'll let you do my feet.
Well, it is what they do, though. By
that
the way,
is their
just
job.
Make a stranger
no
do
kidding.
it. God.
Jeez. Actually, pay for the service.
I get it, but don't try to make it seem like you're such a good Samaritan out there for getting your feet done. 8:01 at 36 seconds. Somebody writes, "Gay, Dumpy, and Schwager should all move in together. It would be a modern day version of the Three's Company show." All right. What else do we got here that needs to be read? Drinking alone is not the worst kind of drinking, T-Man. You should try it. Maybe you'd like it. Well, fine. If you're totally, like, in the drinking is what I need kind of world, and you're totally good with all kinds of drinking, then yeah, drinking alone is not a bad kind of drinking. But if you're one to evaluate where the bad drinking lies, then you can't say that the determination is not fully clear that drinking alone is going to be the worst kind of drinking. If you're not in the mode to, if you're not worried about your drinking, then yeah, any drinking can be fine.
Perfectly okay.
But, as I said, if you're worried about your drinking, you're going to try to argue with me that drinking alone is not clearly going to be the worst kind of drinking? Or maybe if you compare it to like early morning drinking before work.
There you go.
Put it in my Cheerios kind of drinking. Okay, maybe you have something that nudges out drinking alone. But obviously you're eating your Cheerios probably alone if that's the kind of drinking you're doing, so then it still applies. But maybe I will try it sometime. Text her out there and I'll see the value in it. I wasn't coming down on people that drink alone, Terry.
Right, we were just establishing the meaning of drinking alone.
I just wanted Gay to be clear that what he was doing was drinking alone. I think he saw my point at the end, but I'm not sure, Terry. He's got a pretty thick head to go along with the rest of them.
Oh, jeez. He is getting thicker by the second.
And I'm still kind of, I don't know why, even though I predicted it, curious as to why him and Abaddon are no longer on speaking terms, Terry.
I'm really curious.
So if he doesn't want to ruin his chances for a flat screen, Terry.
Oh, jeez. And Vinny's bi-curious.
If he has any chance of getting a flat screen, Terry.
Yes.
He's got to let us know through some means of communication.
Oh, he did. He just gave you the middle finger.
That's not really what I was looking for here, obviously. I'm just a little bit, not that I can't move on with my day, Terry. But if he wants to tell us what the straw was that broke the camel's back on why him and Abaddon are no longer on speaking terms, I think now is the time, or he might be ruining any chance he has of getting a flat screen this holiday season, Terry.
Wow.
Oh, a double finger and an FU in the chat room. Move on, he said.
What else is going on your side of the console, Terry, please?
Thank you, Jazzy.
A gentleman in Australia led police on a very low-speed chase. By the way, it was like 12 miles per hour. While he was
12 miles an hour. You think maybe you could run him off the road or what?
Just walk up to the car. And
we don't want to be a threat to other commuters. 12 miles an hour.
Yes.
It's like, I think something hit me. Something hit me.
He'll probably just grab his bumper and stop the car.
Get out of his car. Get out of your squad car and run him down. What do you mean a low-speed chase at 12 miles an hour?
That's what I'm telling you. They followed him and then waited
until...
When
people run at top speed, aren't they running faster than 12 miles an hour? Or no?
I don't think so.
I know horses, when they're going at top speed, go about 42 miles an hour.
Yeah, cheetahs are like 60.
So you're telling me humans at top speed are not over 12 miles an hour?
No, I think, yeah, you could.
All right, so a 12-mile-an-hour low-speed chase.
Right.
Why are we bringing this up? In Australia, was it the Australian Al Cowlings and OJ or what?
No. When they finally got him pulled over, they told him to get out of the car, and he said he didn't want to get out of the car. And the reason why,
a long-winded story, Terry.
Well, I'm going to tell you, is because he
had the meat.
At least break it.
Because he had been pleasuring himself with a jar of pasta sauce.
Well, ragu is for all occasions, Terry. And the big ragu.
Goo. Oh, the big ragu.
What do you mean he was? What do you mean he was pleasuring himself? He does come from a land down under. What do you mean he was pleasuring himself with a can of pasta sauce?
He was using. Well, you guys used lotion or whatever, and he used pasta sauce.
He was taking the pasta in his hand and jerking the gherkin, or he was actually using the jar to
How would that work?
He was actually having intercourse with the jar itself. I mean, which one are you talking about
That's
here?
what it feels like to have sex with Terry.
He was using the pasta sauce itself as like an exotic lube?
Yes.
Or was he having fornication with the pasta jar? Terry, there's a big difference there.
No, he was.
I mean, if he's so massive that only a pasta jar is able to satisfy him, then I gotta admit I'm rather impressed.
Yeah, that would be crazy.
Whoa, the girth is
So which is it?
He was using.
I don't feel anything.
That's what it feels like to have sex with Terry.
What a tight fit this pasta jar
is. No. He
Really?
was,
Downsized that much, Terry?
He's using the sauce as a
what
lubricant.
A dirty look I just got there.
I got one.
See that dirty look?
I got one. I felt that on my neck. It's a dirty look.
I know you're not as big as a pasta jar. What's that now? One of these days,
anyway,
what are you
You're going to help us both to prove it? Okay, good.
Well, all right, so I don't think you even know what it means.
I
but
just told you
what?
that.
What? I didn't hear you.
He used it as a lubricant.
Then why did he have... All right, I guess you don't put it in Tupperware.
Right.
So he had a jar of pasta.
Yes.
And then he was pouring it into his hand. And he was beating the paddy wagon with the pasta sauce?
His ankles they were trying to get him out of the car.
Right.
He had his ankles down to his knees. There was pornography there. Down to his ankles, that is. And he was using the jar of pasta sauce to like pleasure himself, and he had it. And in the
you keep saying that. He was using a jar of pasta sauce to pleasure himself. But I think what that more likely means is he was having fornication in an exotic fashion with a pasta jar.
Well,
otherwise, why would they phrase it that way? That he was pleasuring himself with a pasta jar. If they said he was pleasuring himself with pasta sauce.
I said it using a jar of pasta
sauce. Exactly. Using a jar. The jar would not be part of the equation if he was just using the sauce as lube.
Well,
you wouldn't have to mention the jar.
True. But that's what the story is saying. So
they never truly identify which one he was really doing.
Right.
So therefore, I have to go with the fact that he was taking the jar and going like this on a schlong.
Oh, okay.
Turn the camera on me. No.
I think we should.
Sometimes I really wish I could.
I mean, why else would they have to mention the jar in the equation there? He was pleasuring himself with pasta sauce, would be the way they would write it if he was doing it the way you're thinking.
How can he get anything out of it? I don't know.
Right, that's what I'm wondering, and that's why I'm thinking he's using the sauce,
unless
even though it's
massive,
in a jar.
Unless you're Pasty Dave, how could you get anything out of that?
and the thing is that they say that, quote, he was still pleasuring himself in between bouts of wrestling while they were trying to wrestle.
If the sauce was full in the jar,
right.
He's still sticking his dilly in the jar with the sauce in it. The jar is still part of the deal there.
It ain't working for anybody.
Well,
put your weenus in marinara. That ain't happening.
As you may have heard many times in your life, don't knock it till you try it.
I've humped a few food products in my day, but never marinara.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Maybe you just got too much of a limp noodle, but
yeah, maybe.
Oh. Get it, noodles? Pasta?
Noodles and pasta, they go good together. I got it.
Mm-hmm.
I followed along.
May I see the story, Terry?
You can.
Check that. He was making lunch with a friend.
He was arrested for offensive behavior, resisting police, and disobeying police directions.
Right.
Okay. All right. Yeah, the story mentions every time that they make reference to what he was doing, they keep the jar in play.
They do.
So therefore, I have to overrule you, Terry, until I see another story that tells me differently. That the jar was part, for whatever he determined he would get out of it, the jar was part of his solo sex little moments there.
Okay.
All right. I think we should all make an attempt.
Today or something to try it out.
To break open the Prego and see what we get out of it.
Have a good time.
What's your favorite pasta sauce, Terry? Which is your... I mean, everyone has their one that they buy and only one alone.
The Paul Newman stuff's good.
You don't switch. When you find one you love, you stick with it, right? For a lifetime.
Yeah, I use Hunt's.
Whoa.
Do I have to dump that?
Hunt's? Really?
I think he did too, by the way, Terry.
So... that's the stuff you make your own with, though, right?
Right.
No, the Hunt's actually has
a little hamburger helper-ish, isn't it?
Yeah. I just buy what's on sale.
Ooh, sorry that I,
Well, that compensates for your toast, Terry. So it all balances out.
Hunt's.
See, I'm a
It goes
Prego
in a
guy.
can.
Oh, Prego's bad too.
I made the switch years ago from Ragu to Prego. Prego's low rent?
Yeah, so is Ragu. They're both pretty bad.
Yeah, Ragu didn't taste good to me.
Yeah, Prego's right there with them. That's why you got to go Classico or the Paul Newman stuff's really good.
Yeah.
Just
All
expensive.
right, I didn't know you were so high society.
Oh, he is. Look at the fancy new phone.
You're not tipping all these register people. It was really paying off at the end.
Look, I can pay an extra $1 for my pasta
You're able
sauce.
to go.
I'm high society.
You're able to go high-end pasta sauce, and you're knocking my Prego.
Keep cheaping out on the pasta sauce, guys.
I happen to like it.
Right. Check the price.
BenShow.com.
Oh my God! Really?
Hotshot's doing a very good job of talking me into going to his. What is it? Semifinal? Is it quarterfinal?
Quarterfinals. Eight teams left.
State finals, high school football, Saturday night, and really all he has to say is the cheerleaders will be right behind me on the sidelines. And, high school cheerleaders do it for you every time, Terry. I think I'm in.
You should be.
But I have to get my ear drained tomorrow, so if I'm not in too much pain,
sounds painful,
then I might be there.
You should come on down.
Mm-hmm.
I heard that.
How much notice do I have to give you to get on the sideline with you?
10 minutes.
Really?
Come on down.
I don't even know if I can find the place.
Really?
I've never been to Qua.
Yeah, it's
at
actually
least
buried.
The high school.
It's totally buried.
Someone's calling out your team there, Hotshot.
It's tough to find.
Who are you playing this weekend?
Bothell.
Bothell.
You've already beaten them once this year?
We did.
But then, later in the year, they came around on ESPNU and gave Skyline a run for their money.
They did.
They were leading with like 4 minutes to go in the game when your team,
my team,
got crushed by the same team.
Correct.
So you can make a case.
You could.
I haven't even made the case yet. You already agree. You can make
I know what
the
you're
case
gonna say. I know what you're going to say.
that Bothell's an improved team. That second time around is going to be right there at the finish line with you, up for grabs as far as who's going to win this game.
They are improved.
But you have the home team. You have the home field advantage.
Home field, and we're healthy finally. We're ready to roll.
So when you play them first time around, you beat them, and you weren't even at full strength.
No, that's the thing. We were totally healthy week 1, and then had guys banged up the whole rest of the year until the playoffs.
All right, when did you play Bothell, though?
Week 1. We were at full strength, and we beat their butt.
All right, so it's not like you beat them with not 100% roster, and now that you're playing with a full-strength team, you should beat them even worse, or at least
No,
beat
I'm
them.
not suggesting that. I'm suggesting it'll be like week 1. It'll be a beating.
Well, tell me the point spread. Should I be on the sideline that
The point spread?
That I should have in my mind as...
Bothell's actually the favorite.
You're putting Bothell as a favorite?
Well, if you look in the paper has them ranked as the second best team to win the whole thing.
Of course, they have Skyline first in the 4As?
Yes.
And they have Bothell second.
Yes,
They're not giving you the respect that you should be deserving of, seeing that you are the home team this weekend?
Yep.
All right, so who are the 8 teams? There are 8 teams still left, or what?
8 teams.
Auburn, Skyline, Bothell, and Issy.
Wow, Terry knows.
Right.
Oh, she calls him Issy.
Well, it's because I get it from him. And then that's your 4A.
So cozy with the Qua, Terry, that you call him Issy. I mean, I call him the Qua, but I'm not ready to call him Issy yet.
Well, sorry.
I think it's like Ferndale, Curtis.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Ferndale's kind of small, isn't they?
Ferndale's got Jake Locker's brother, who's a beast.
Yes, who's a beast.
Really?
Ferndale just beat West Seattle like 46-6.
Is he a quarterback?
Yes. West Seattle was undefeated, and they scored 46 points on West Seattle. Jake Locker's brother. Yeah.
I'm sure UW wishes they could rent him for the weekend.
Oh, he's got offers to both. Wazoo and UW. Not that means anything.
Was he a junior?
Is it Lakes and Ferndale?
He's a senior? Mm-hmm. He's not getting the same buzz that his brother got.
He's not as good as Jake at all. Not even close.
But he's a beast.
He's a beast.
All right.
He's good. So, yeah, Ferndale's in it, but...
Lakes.
All right, we got some good text messages here. Let me get to a couple of these before we get to someone on the phone lines that I know you're dying to hear from, Terry.
Oh, really? That I am?
Well, I mean, everyone should be, and he's got some interesting updates in his life. 8:36 and 57 seconds, somebody writes... T-Man, I think he should buy Gay that flat screen if he's willing to lose all the weight that he originally lost from the surgery and rekindle his relationship with Pappy.
That I would like.
So I should buy him the flat screen of his choice. But obviously, that's basically like the equivalent of saying, don't buy him the flat screen. Because he ain't getting back down to 226 at any point in this lifetime. He had his shot.
Right.
He let it go.
You only get one shot.
He had pretty much the best shot he's going to get. So I don't want to say you only get one shot. But he had his best shot. He let it go. I don't think he's ever revisiting 226.
He didn't capture it.
He did not capture the moment, Eminem.
No, he did not. He did capture a double cheese with bacon, though, with two hands.
Whoa.
He captured quite a few just in the past 24 hours.
So what if he gets down to either 226 or rekindles with Pappy? How about one of the two? Because they're both pretty far-fetched.
No, because rekindling with Pappy is an easy thing to
No, it's not.
To
He
navigate.
hates him.
I will say if he gets to 226 again at any point in this lifetime, I will buy him the flat screen.
Wow.
But I will not say that if he reacquaints himself with Pappy to get the flat screen and then basically tells his Pappy to take a long,
If you said, I have a flat screen of your choice today, you have to go to lunch with Pappy tomorrow for an hour, he would not do it. Just a lunch, he wouldn't do it.
And I wouldn't do it either.
No, I'm just saying, but that's how much he doesn't like him.
Fine.
So he'll get to 226 before he rekindles with Pappy.
8:34 at 17 seconds. Somebody writes, T-Man, let me give you a schlong exam. Okay,
wow,
there's Leslie
nice.
again. All right, either Leslie or
Ace Jack.
Ace Jack,
Yeah,
or
thanks,
hopefully
Ace.
maybe it's someone new. I don't know. 8:34 and 3 seconds. Somebody writes, VTP, you need to talk more. I've been telling him.
Let me tell you, T-Man. I'm sorry.
I got an infection in my ear, please.
Didn't know that little voice could get that loud.
They didn't say louder. They said more.
Well, I'm talking more right now.
All right,
actually,
you
as
need
we
to
speak.
throw it in more.
Oh, I'm throwing it in.
Don't hold back. I'm telling them the same thing. 8:31 and 36 seconds.
Terry, you need to talk less.
Oh, geez.
Is that on there? Oh, fine. Look at her all pissed.
Somebody writes,
God,
Mr.
Jesus.
T-Man, did you read about the tanning salon that was busted yesterday for prostitution? No, I did not.
Really?
Where was it?
I wish I knew. I didn't hear it either.
Obviously someplace local, or else they wouldn't be writing it, or what?
Maybe it's the place you gave me the gift card to.
Is it another one I missed
Probably.
out on? I wish.
These places don't exist. I always hear about places
Yeah.
that shut down.
No,
The places that are shut down, you didn't realize existed when it actually was worth something.
I just
but
want to stumble across.
Come
one
on.
of these
You never heard
places.
of Tan and Tug? We've all gone in there. Good deals on tanning.
I can't believe it took them so long to bust the joint.
Yeah, no kidding, man.
Tan and Tug in neon didn't give it away.
Shut up.
8:31 and 2 seconds. Somebody writes, I want to deep throat Terry's toes.
Make it happen, Terry.
Your toes are becoming a real fascination over the past 24
Can I,
hours here.
can I
what
see one real
happened
quick?
to
You can thank Tiny for that.
I know.
8:30 and 54 seconds. Somebody writes, I think I may be addicted to sex. I really, really want to be with one man and one man only, but I can't seem to be able to do it. Give on it. I'm assuming that's from a woman. If it is, it's kind of a hot text, Terry.
Okay.
It's kind of turning me on a little bit, giving me a quarter tank. I'll wait him up to a half. I mean, that's kind of cool that she really so desperately wants to be with one guy, but she can't because she loves sex so much.
Yep.
Isn't that kind of a cool thought, or
Sure.
what?
Yeah, well, if she loves sex so much, she wouldn't mind it with the same guy every time.
Terry, don't just give me a little standard little pacifying answer, all right?
It is
Don't
hot,
stroke
man.
me. No, either say it like you mean it
Oh, yeah.
or disagree.
It's so
Take
hot.
one side.
Yeah.
Almost there.
Oh, well, I speak for myself and myself alone then.
All right, then.
The fact that this, hopefully, female texter really so desperately wants to be in a relationship of a monogamous nature, but can't because she's such a freaking nympho, to me is a pretty big turn on. All right? Apparently, our listeners are telling us via the phone lines, which we haven't really taken any major calls this morning,
None, yeah.
that the tanning salon was in the Tukwila area.
Oh.
Man, not too far away.
No.
Probably a shorter drive than to the Issy High School, huh?
Well, yes, shorter. Not by much. I'll take it 20. Oh, from your house?
15?
15, 20. Just because it's
Factor
buried.
in the hour of getting lost. It's an hour and 15?
True, hour and 15. But it's literally buried in the woods. There's trees everywhere. It's tough to find.
I went to look at Bellevue High just because I was forecasting, looking down the road 15 years from when my son has to go to high school, thinking, that might be the spot. And it took me like 20 minutes to find a place right in my neighborhood.
Oh, that's
because it's so tucked away. It was, I don't know, it wasn't easy for me.
Really?
But I'm pretty dumb. Anyway, 8:30 and 51 seconds, somebody writes, how much would Terry's panties go for on eBay? All right. 8:30.
Let's try.
And 43 seconds, somebody writes, T-Man, when I'm at work and I hear your voice, I have to go to the bathroom and touch myself. Now, who is writing these texts, Terry? They're from different numbers. This one's a
Come
707 area code.
Oh,
What's 707?
Maybe Ace Jack has another cell.
But here's one for you, Terry, just to balance it all out. 8:29 and 55 seconds, somebody writes, I want to wink at Terry with my brown eye.
Gross.
That was a pretty quick gross, Terry. It must have been that you read this one and you knew it was coming.
Yeah, nailed it.
Because I'm like, barely with it out of my mouth.
Gross.
I want to wink at Terry with my brown eye.
Gross.
Anytime you talk about brown stuff.
Yeah, but I hadn't even said brown. Did you read these in advance? Are you reading these ahead of me?
I kind of saw when Pasty.
Don't look over the text messages before I read them.
Okay.
I want you to get them for the first time when the listeners get them as well, all right?
707 Santa Rosa, by the way.
Oh.
Santa Rosa, California? All right. 8:28 and 58 seconds. Somebody writes, I, by far, have the prettiest baby girl. Why am I losing the baby battle?
Oh, yeah, I forgot.
How is the baby battle doing? Are they still crashing websites or what?
Not that I have heard.
Have you gone and done your official voting yet? Can you vote more than once? You can just
No, you supposedly can't. But
everyone knows there are ways around that.
But there are a lot of really cute babies.
How committed are you to your child that you submitted? Take a few days off from work and do nothing but delete your cookies and vote for your child if you don't want to lose this competition. Of course, then you're up against everyone else who's doing the same thing. So what it's going to come down to is all those people cancel themselves out. The real deciding factor is going to be those who haven't submitted pictures that are going to actually go and vote for some picture of a baby that they don't know. Because everyone who submitted baby pictures, right or wrong, is going to be sitting there voting nonstop for their own kid.
You would think. Or send their relatives to do it or whatever.
All right? Yeah, get a team of people on board with voting nonstop for your adorable child. So beautiful. So that all kind of has a cancel-out factor, and it'll come down to anyone who really legitimately wants to see the baby battle and doesn't have a little stake in it. So to speak. That's really nasty. So, if you want to be amongst those that are the deciding factors, and you haven't submitted a baby battle picture, it could come down to you. You can go to thetmanshow.com. At some point, I'm going to go and check out these babies, Terry. But I still am on...
One cuter than the next.
Yeah, it is.
Really?
It's a tough one.
You're even drinking that Kool-Aid now?
Yeah, I'm looking at them right now.
Well, but there's a lot of them, and they're just
light
adorable.
bulb-shaped head.
Little baby. Oh, that's so sweet. Okay, I still think they should have a booby prize for the booby baby. The ugliest baby should get a knock at their front door. You sent in your picture thinking you had such a beautiful kid. Well, you got voted for the ugliest.
That's something.
In this economy, I'll take anything.
It's like from the 70s or something.
Okay, so yeah, the tmanshow.com, the baby battle is on. I don't know when the voting stops, but it hasn't stopped yet. So go do your duty. Rock the vote. Vote or die. Get her done.
You got them all, don't you?
www.thetmanshow.com, Q93.com, whatever you prefer, and go and do your civic duty. Have you been reading these behind the scenes?
Yes, I have. I knew it. I knew that was coming.
Go do your civic duty. That was a good one. And vote for the most beautiful a baby.
I'm going to do my civic duty during the break, I tell you.
8:28 and 52 seconds. Somebody writes, I will sniff hot fudge Scott's sweaty nutsack.
Wow.
Oh, that's really not part of a family show atmosphere.
And
the fact that they have to indicate sweaty, they won't get really inspired to do it until it's all good and sweaty.
No, I think they just assume it will be. At all times.
Yeah, I was about to say, which luckily for them is really the only way it comes, so to speak.
I don't think they want it that way. You're not suggesting that's how they want it.
Man, the texters are really getting kind of horny this morning. 8:27 and 58 seconds. Somebody writes, I can lick Terry's butt better than JD.
Wow.
I mean, can I? Wow. I hate to have to be saying all these things verbatim on a family show like this, Terry, but hey, the text messengers are writing it, and who am I to edit them?
If you can, let's put them to the test.
I'm going to have to edit this one. They're really horned up this morning. I'm going to have to edit this one. This one, I cannot say full board on a family show. 8:27 and 49 seconds, douche. Somebody writes, T-Baby, and I can't even read this one.
Come on.
Why do you do that? That's ridiculous.
No.
That's you can
give
it a hot shot or a VTP to read it. Come on.
Well, Terry, you're reading it behind the scenes anyway, so what are you worried about?
She already knows what it says. So.
How about this one? 8:27 and 22 seconds. T-Man, buy yourself a second iPod for the car, idiot. You know, I could do that easily, fine, no problem.
That's true.
But
You
then
don't wanna lose
it's the whole factor of getting it just right.
The personal touch, I know.
And I have all my songs just right on not only my my number one iPod, but my iPhone. I don't need to be setting up all extraneous iPods.
I got Paul McCartney and Wings Under Wings, not Paul McCartney. Much easier to find. I can't change it now. Will you read us the dirty one, please?
8:27, 22 seconds. Somebody writes, I want to go on a date with Vinnie the Pooh. I would love to.
Oh.
There's just no way to edit it and make it right. I want to go on the date with Vinnie the Pooh. Will he go with me?
Let's call him up. Get voted.
Yeah, let's call.
2-1 on a man.
8:25 and 58 seconds. Oh, baby T, I want you to bang me against Pasty's glass door.
Wow.
Sex over glass.
No.
8:17 and 56 seconds.
No glass in between.
Somebody writes side out and rotate.
God, that stuck in my head all day a couple days ago. I'm walking around Costco singing that to myself. Oh, another sample. Cool. I love salmon at 10:30. Who doesn't? Oh, breakfast sausage, too. I'll take one of those, too.
Why am I not finding his... Oh, here it is. Okay, never mind.
That makes sense. Over in the corner.
He was born in the bayou.
Eating a ham sandwich.
With a golden spoon. With golden teeth.
I think romantic is just sitting down and what a like this.
He's a guy looking for Miss Do-Right. And in the meantime, f***ing everybody inside.
Yeah.
He's high on life. And probably something else, too. And now, the most romantic man in the land.
Just chilling.
He's the ham sandwich guy.
I hear he's got 2 hoes in a hotel room right now, Terry.
Really?
That's what Pasty wrote up on the call board. So I'm not really hearing it, I'm reading it. Hammy, the word is, at least via your description, the word is that as you talk to us, you presently have 2, as you describe them, hoes. Not my words, Terry, his.
Okay.
But I would call them the same thing. 2 hoes in a hotel room while you have your ear to the phone.
Correct. Yeah. Last night, me and my homeboy went trapping, and he laid up there and trapped some roadkill for us. And we laid up there and left Tacoma and made it back to Seattle, where she purchased a motel room. And from there, me and my homeboy laid up there and split her in half. And
Now, is she hearing all this, or is she not within an ear's distance of your description of the accounts of last night / this morning?
Very romantic.
Actually, T-Man, at this moment, I'm inside my car because I have the intentions to wake up other people when I do my own little introduction, so I can't hop in my ride.
So you don't want to wake up all the others that are in your hotel room right now?
Right, but I can easily slide on...
Hey, you're not the kind of guy that we need to doubt, that we have to have you prove that there are 2 women in your hotel room that you ran through last night, but...
Only through one, though. I just ran across another hoe this morning that was telling me that her pimp left her, and hey, you know what I'm saying?
So he calls them hoes, Terry. It's not like he's just using the word loosely to really degrade women, Terry. These are literally at least girls who have dabbled in the working world.
Right.
Well, I have one on deck that's a bona fide hoe, and as far as the other one, I know that she's been dibbling, dabbling with her pimp. You know what I'm saying? From previous nights ago, I was at the same motel room.
But last night, these girls were not charging you. In fact, if I heard you correctly, they sprung for the tab for the hotel room just so they could be sure that the ham sandwich man would lay his skills upon them before the sun rose.
And that's all about room 108, T-Man.
Whoa.
Oh, of course, 108.
Of course.
Can't go 107 and 109, Terry, if you're going to get it done. You gotta go 108. What hotel are we talking about here, Hemi? Where do you do it in style?
Motel 6.
In style.
And even though she paid, did you catch a glimpse of how much the going rate is on room 108 at the Motel 6 for the night, or what?
So when you lie to the people and tell the people it's only one person sleeping in the room, that rate will hit you for $50.
So what? If you tell them there's 4 people, they'll charge you more?
Yeah, it's like $5 a person.
They may charge you about $60-something plus an additional maybe $3 to each additional person.
So you all hide out, you pay the $50, and then you sneak the other 3 in? Is that how you do it?
Yes.
Who wouldn't do that, though? Seriously, I mean, you may call that a little frugal or cheap, but why would you pay an extra $15?
Is it really worth it to have to hide from the manager every time he walks by your room? Really, though? It's really worth it to hide from them.
Well, it depends on your situation. I mean, I could definitely see...
Maybe in Vegas where nobody comes around.
I would be bugged by the fact that the same room costs $20 more for 4 people that you would get for 1 person.
It's not a free-for-all. You can't have 65 people in a room.
Well, he's not having 65 people.
4 people using water and using sheets and towels and all that.
It's the same water. Okay, more amounts of water, I guess, would be used. Whatever. Anyway.
You can't do that.
I don't think that's what they're thinking, that they got to make sure they... get all they can to satisfy the upcoming water bill. But anyway, Hammy, give me some details.
Well, right now, T-Man, as we speak, I really don't even know what to do with the hose. After I get offline, I must let you know ahead of time that right now...
Oh, yes, the aftermath with the hose.
I am out of condoms right now, so I will be going to the Shell gas station and get me some more condoms.
Speaking of which... The last time you called, you indicated that you may... It's kind of interesting, Terry. 2 calls ago, he was talking about how he's overdue to be leaving his mark on the world. He has to procreate. He has to leave his, stamp, his imprint on the planet by having some semblance of offspring, Terry. And then, 1 call later... If you remember, he said he may have done just that. Be careful what you wish for. He just might have gotten it. Have you confirmed as to whether you are, in fact, expecting a child, yes or no, Ham Sandwich Man?
Yeah.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Definitely. Well, not expecting a child. The child is already here. Should we speak upon it?
Child's already been delivered?
Yeah, the child's been delivered.
I thought you just found out about it.
Well, he probably just found out that he had a kid, and it was... How old is
She was
it?
trying to hide it from you?
Didn't try to hide, not at all. She didn't try to hide it from me.
Then...
Well, why'd you find out a month before it was born?
Well, because I changed my number, and she couldn't get a hold to me for a few months, and, that's how that story worked out, but...
So you are officially a daddy to a born child?
Yeah, we went and took a paternity test, and, I got my paper back in maybe last week, and the answer to my paperwork turned out to be 99.9999999% mine.
Really? I'm not hearing the sounds of jubilation. I mean, you put yourself mentally in this situation. You wished upon the world. Do you remember that call? It was about a month ago where you wished upon the heavens that you would have a child. Then you made the call a couple of weeks later. You may have one, and you sounded a little somber about it. And now I'm still not hearing the sounds of relief or even close to ecstasy. Don't take it too literally. That you have, in fact, a little hammy. Why am I not hearing that? Am I reading into it too much? Are you kind of a little bit down about it, or what? Now that it's actually happened, are you having some second thoughts about this, or what?
Well, be
careful what you wish for kind of moment, or what's happening here?
Well, see, the more about my story, should we go deep into my story, T-Man, we would say that I'm really upset right now because now that I know that I do have a little hammy, I'm going through baby mama daddy drama, and I think that...
Alrighty.
I don't think that it's right to be going through the baby mama daddy drama because I'm not even that particular type of man to go through that.
He's not a drama guy.
I would like to say that...
So I was reading into it right. I was picking up on the lack of jubilation, Terry. I was reading him correctly. My poker skill's still intact, Terry, and yet I can do nothing with him. The man is a little bit in the mode of be careful what you wish for, because it just so happened to happen right smack in his face, right after the wish finished coming out of his mouth, and now he's already got problems. She made sure to find a way to track him down just to give him hell.
Well, yeah, I think my problems are very major, T-Man. For one, I only seen my daughter one time, and that was in the fraternity office. And after I got the test, you know what I'm saying? When I got my paperwork, I was, trying to say if it was my baby, but I still yet have not seen my daughter. She don't want me to see my baby, talking about she's stressed out over this and that. So I'm like, well, hey, won't you take that stress out and kick that to the side?
Well, how old is your daughter now?
She was born August the 5th.
Does she want you to guarantee some level of responsibility, which certainly wouldn't be out of the question for her to suggest to you if you start a relationship with your daughter, or what?
Well,
does she want to make sure that you're not going to be in there, temporarily, and then, sending the girl for a jolt? How old did you say she was? She's just an infant, right?
So about 3 months.
Only 3 months. So it's really not like he can impact the child if he just takes a look and then goes running for the hills.
It gives him time to bond and bond together.
Why is she preventing you from seeing your child? What does she want out of you?
From what I see, she really don't want nothing from out of me. But
she's never mentioned any kind of monetary situation. She's never.
Definitely. I already done heard child support. I done already heard that she got one of the most finest lawyers, and that she's about to get full custody and all this other crap. And I'm like, what? Why do you want to go get full custody? And this is your baby. Actually, it's our baby, so what's wrong with you? You know what I'm saying?
I hate to have to get personal on this level, but how much do you really have socked away, Hammy, that you can have the lawyer go after? Do you have some little nest egg somewhere that... I mean, you don't seem to be amongst the regular working world. We hear you out on the streets, making sure that you take roadkill up to the spot. I don't really remember you talking about a steady job lately. So, I mean, are they really feeling like you got something to go after? Do you? Are you hiding something? What's the story?
Well, my story, I'm just a good man. I'm from the bayou. No, I haven't worked in about 10 years.
Oh, my God. He's in between jobs.
Yes. In between lottery winnings.
I ain't worked about 10 years, so therefore I may be a little poor on the slim side, but that does not take nothing away as far as being a good father.
Right, and no one's doubting that. You could be the best lawyer in the world, though. If you don't have anything to go after, what's the point?
Right.
But according to him, he's saying that she's trying to get full custody, so he has no rights to her whatsoever.
So why would she look for him? Why would she hunt him down the way she did if she's just going to keep him as far away from the child as possible?
Well, actually, I didn't have her number, T-Man, and I hunted her down.
Oh, you did? All right, never mind.
Because did you hear or something that there was a possibility you had a child, and that's why you hunted her down?
Right, correct.
Oh, okay.
When the baby came out, I went, whoa, now.
When you saw,
you imagine
when you saw your daughter at the fraternity clinic, I'm sure it was the SIGEP fraternity clinic.
That's right. You had to do a beer bong and then get tested.
Did you feel a little bit of an initial, right off the bat, bonding situation between father and daughter, right off top? Or was there not that initial connection?
Well, because the baby is a little red bone and a little cutie pie, my first instance, well, you know what I'm saying? If this is my baby, well, right now I do have this baby girl in my hands, but if this is not my baby, you know what I'm saying? So yes, I did tell that.
All right, so you haven't seen the child since the results of the test came back saying you were 99 positive to be the child. So when you were still holding the child, you were unaware of the results of the test, so you didn't really totally bond.
Half and half.
Mm-hmm.
Half and
well,
half
now
all
she
the
won't.
way.
Now that she knows, she's not allowing him to even bond.
All right, so where are we going to go with this? Where do you think it's going to wind up? Where are you going to be as far as, let's say, I don't know, 3 months from now, as far as the relationship with the child? What do you think your gut tells you?
Well, my gut's telling me that it's already in the slip hole, and when you mess with any slip hole at any given moment, you're gonna slip hard. You're gonna slip hard in the hole.
That's good advice, but it's a little after the fact for you now.
Right.
What about what level of responsibility and fatherhood kind of aspect would you like as far as perfect scenario between you and your daughter? If you could paint the perfect picture of what you want, what you don't want, how involved you want to be with the child, be honest.
Well, you know, that's me, so that's 100 right there. I like to be involved with my kid 100.
You want to be involved 100%, and you realize what's required with 100% responsibility. Diaper changing,
I'm down to 90% now. Go ahead, what else?
Do you want to change the baby's diapers on a somewhat regular basis?
Well,
50% of the diapers. Do you want to change 50% of the diapers that the baby poops in?
Well, because it's my baby, and I am an older man, and like I say, I might be a poor man, but I'm still a good father. Why not? It's my baby. My mama changed mine, so I wouldn't have a problem with changing my daughter's
attitude.
Well, let me be one of the first. I don't know if I am the first, but one of the first to congratulate you, Hammy. I know this is what you wanted, but you didn't want it this way, so you're kind of with a little bittersweet kind of feeling here, I'm sure. More bitter or more sweet right now?
Well, see, the T-Man, the thing about men and women having kids, I feel like women shouldn't treat men the way they do, because the thing about a man that's dangerous, a man is able to walk away at any given time and don't have to ever in his life look back.
Terry's rolling her eyes. What a thread you are laying down there. I thought I picked up on a roll eye. No?
I'm just listening to what he has to say.
Uh-huh.
You seem a little irritated, though.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
you got your arms folded
now. The
now.
problem is that he does have the right attitude, but the thing is that it takes more than
But you saw that
just,
as a threat that he shouldn't have been making right there. I could walk away whenever I feel like it.
See ya,
well, but by him saying that, it doesn't sound like that's a bad idea, because she's fighting for full custody. So it's almost like her saying, please do walk away. Then I don't have to get my little fancy attorney. And
what's in the best interest of the child, Terry?
The best interest of the child is let this man see his baby, and y'all continue on, work it out. Only stupid people go to court and put their kids through custody. And
you absolutely feel confident you could be nothing but a positive influence on this child for today and for the foreseeable future.
Well, because I'm still living and people do make mistakes, I'm going to be like, yes, I am very positive about it.
Well, I was about to say, let me be one of the first to congratulate you, Hammy. I don't know where it's going to wind up over the next couple of weeks and months, but I hope it works out the way you want, and you keep us posted, okay, sir?
Right on.
There he is. He's a father now, Terry.
He
wished for it,
he did,
and it came true.
For a long time.
I want to see parent-teacher conferences with him. Please let me go. Please let me watch. Hello, Miss Lady. 28 in the face, handsome in the face, or whatever.
Well,
28 in the waist, handsome in the face.
How about wishing for it and then having it happen before you even know it hit you?
Didn't even have to wait 9 months.
Man. Is there a lottery tonight for Ham Sandwich Man?
I know.
What if you win the lottery? Imagine, I bet you would want full custody then.
All of a sudden she wants to split custody with him if he wins the lottery tonight?
100 million he wins. Something tells me she'll be coming after a little bit of it.
Congratulations to our longtime friend, the Ham Sandwich Man. I never got an answer out of him, though, if it's more bitter or sweet.
I think
he sounds happy.
He's happy.
He does to you?
He hasn't worked in 10 years. Why wouldn't he be happy?
No, happy over this, though?
Yeah, what? It's not going to cost him anything. He said he's poor. He has no money.
I don't know. He's kind of like got that.
All he has to do is show up and give it hugs, and that's it.
Kind of like Kramer from Seinfeld, not the one that he turned out to be with the N-word and everything.
Oh, the racist one, yes.
The way he always seemed to find his way to get by without having to have a job. He always seems to find enough money just to
I'm not suggesting
make himself somewhat comfortable.
Right, I'm not suggesting he can't make a living for himself, but he's happy. He doesn't have to give any money to the woman. He doesn't have anything.
Mm-hmm.
Just shows up and give the kid kisses and hugs, and that's it. Change a couple diapers and go back about your business.
There's a little hammy out there.
Back to the motel.
And it's a girl.
Yeah, it is a girl.
It's kind of weird. All right.
Her name is Roast Beef.
Oh, jeez.
TheTManShow.com.